WCS of North Carolina. Saturday, September 29th at 2:30 Eastern on PRN.
The Drive for the Cure 300 this Saturday afternoon at 2:30 on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
It's time now for the news. A new radio show is taking the nation by storm. It's called This is the 60s, with the best music from the best decade. And, well, thank you. Who are you? Well, I'm J.J. Wilson, and I'm the host of This is the 60s. This is the 60s, with the best music from the best decade. News headlines, pop culture corner, and more. But I was going to say all that. Get out of my news booth, certainly.
This is the 60s, Friday mornings from 10 a.m. till 12 noon on the Boss, WOHS, AM and FM in Shelby, WLON in Lincoln.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Wednesday morning from 11 to 12 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Bill Shuford Heating and Air and American Standard presents the American Standard Set the Standard event. Now through November 30th, get up to $1,000 in discounts on qualifying American Standard equipment, or get 0% APR financing with 60 equal monthly payments, plus many more special Set the Standard event offers. See Bill Shuford Heating and Air for all the details. Bill Shuford Heating and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Call 704-484-0025. They've got them all at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. They've got Ford, Chevrolets, Buicks, Toyotas, Nissans, Hondas, Kias, GMC trucks, and more. What are we talking about? We're talking about the huge used car selection at Renato Auto Mall. Before you buy, come see Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And they are now your SUV headquarters. Over 50 to choose from, new and used, all makes, all models, and 10 to choose from, priced at under $10,000 at Renato Auto Mall. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at RenatoAutomall.com.
It's time to play at the Kings Mountain Country Club. Play and ride on the new cart paths. Play and ride 18 holes Monday through Friday for $28. Seniors 55 and older can ride and play 18 holes Monday through Friday for just $24. Play and ride 18 holes on weekends for just $37. For tee times, call 704-739-5871 for the Kings Mountain Country Club, located on 109 Country Club Drive in Kings Mountain.
Man, I only do things incredible can, cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me, cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you, cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
And good morning for all my campers out there. It's Campers In, Saturday Sports Talk of Kings Mountain with Hunter Yancey, Hunter a.k.a. Adrian Peterson Yancey. If you're watching online on YouTube, you can watch every day on YouTube. I'm Kevin Hastings, also along with Terry Reinhardt.
I was giving them things
John Prather is on the as the producer today.
I wish they gave this away.
$2. So yeah, Hunter, Carson may or may not be showing. I'm not sure. If I haven't heard from him, it probably means he's still asleep, I would guess. These young boys, Terry, have a problem getting up for this. We got free biscuits and breakfast, and they still can't get up in here. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
what time was you up?
What? Now 4 o'clock.
What time did you leave here, Terry?
It's after 12.
Me and Terry texted each other last night at 12:30 about football scores, and we were here. Well, no, Hunter didn't beat me, but I was in bed at 12. JP. That's all right. JP, you boys. He's going to say something.
Uh-oh.
What? Yeah,
Come
what'd you
on,
have for
JP.
breakfast? Speaking of breakfast, we Mitchum's Kitchen
Terry
breakfast.
hasn't given me my biscuit, so I can't.
Oh, Calvin's done stole the biscuit.
So that's Terry's
The
fault,
biscuit is not in the basket, Terry. JP needs his biscuit. I've got an egg and cheese biscuit. Hunter's mowing through his right now. Terry, have you had your breakfast this morning? We've been a little busy
Eating
this
it
morning.
right now.
We're
Had a
working on it.
country ham and egg biscuit today
Ooh-wee,
for
country
the
ham
first
and egg.
time.
So make sure you see our sponsors during the week and today. Today's a great day to always see either one of our sponsors on a Saturday. Gets you some food at Mitchum's Kitchen and also get you go down and check out the campers down at Campers Inn of Kings Mountain right off I-85 exit there behind off 181 maybe. I think that's right. All right. We got some scores to talk about last night, a couple other things. We'll talk to some coaches here in a little bit. And but first of all, guys, let's give the scores from last night's games. Then I'll go through the top 20, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Well, I'll start the first one. Let's go. I'm going to go over the games that we did last night. Then Hunter can take care. Terry, you've read enough scores the last 2 nights. Let's let Hunter do a little.
Board three's mine.
Let's let Hunter Peterson do a little. Well, he wants board 3.
I'll give him number 3 down.
That's fine.
There you go. That's fine. 3 down. All right. So last night out of our area, we got our boards, everything separated, kind of around. Let's see. We had Patton beat Drone 17-7. West Irondale beat East Burke 27-14. Freedom 43-22 over Hickory. Watauga, probably if not the biggest surprise of the night, it's one of the biggest surprises of the night. Terry 35-0. Alexander Central. You don't expect to see a 0 at all. Watauga must be pretty strong.
Yeah, they've got to be. I mean, I understand Hobbich is up there, and he's doing a great job at Watauga ever since he arrived. But to beat Alexander 35-0, this is a team that put up 69 points last week, coming into this week, defending Northwestern 3A, 4A conference champions, and then you shut them out 35-0.
McDowell falls to St. Stephen's 40-36. In Caldwell County, South beat West 62-13. On KTC Broadcasting's scores last night, we had 5 games last night. We'll have 6 next week. I'll talk about that in just a second. Huss over Burns 41-0. Crest over Kramer 27-7. Shelby over Mount Pleasant 35-14. Community School of Davidson over Cherryville 42-36. And East Lincoln over Lincoln 27-6. I'm going to do one more score before I hand it off to the other fellas. Kings Mountain 56-6 on the scoreboard last night over North Gaston. Next week, we're going to have Kings Mountain, our number 2 team in the poll, against the number 1 team in the poll, Terry. The first time this year, I know we've had it before, but we're going to have a 1 versus 2 matchup. In week 8 of the season, Kings Mountain at Huss. And let me tell you what else is special about that game. Hunter Yancey's going to be there. Is that the special part?
Don't wear that shirt.
No, that is not the special part. But the special part is Hunter and Jason and myself and probably JP will be over there. We're going to have that game live. Ooh, Carson, Hunter Huss. We may involve him if he wants to. Let's see what he's got planned next week. Hunter Huss, Kings Mountain, we'll have live on ktcbroadcasting.com. Carson makes it into the house. It's breakfast time for him. He'll get to in a sec. But before we get to anything, Carson, I know you kind of gave Hunter a look. Before you give him any more looks, that is not a Clinton Portis jersey.
Oh, did you?
That is not. I'd say.
Did you buy that as soon as they signed him? Week after.
He's got an Adrian Peterson Redskins jersey on for you radio listeners.
Good,
I walked in. I'm guessing Carson thought the same thing. I clearly thought it was a Clinton Portis jersey.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought Sheriff Gonna Get You was in the house.
Oh man.
Hey, no, it's just all day.
It's all day.
It's just all day.
It's Hunter all day Yancey instead.
All day. All day.
Unreal.
Terry do the second board, and Hunter can do the third.
Okay.
Or whichever one.
Well, I will say
I'm
this.
gonna grab that third.
I know y'all want to do it.
I'm gonna say this. I'll take this all day before I buy a check down Alex Smith. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Terry.
It was North Lincoln going to 2-0 in the conference with a 49-14 win over Lake Norman Charter. This game was tied 14-all, and then North Lincoln put that one away. It was East Rutherford at the one time was losing to Polk County 21-20.
I didn't know if y'all talked about that last night because I was up and down the hall. It was past halftime.
Yes,
At halftime it was 21-20. Polk County was leading most of that game and didn't score another point. 54-21. Amazing.
Yeah, no trouble for East Rutherford after that. It was Chase coming from behind. Avery County led this game for a while, but Chase ends up winning over Avery County 34-19. Fred T. Ford, no trouble with Bunker Hill, 64-29. And West Lincoln Rebels. That's right. Coach Tom Sane out
First time
there.
in how long, Terry?
1985.
Whew.
20 straight losses for the Rebels. They make the trip up to Maiden and come away with a huge win, 31-18 over Maiden. Last time they had beat Maiden, Wes Beam was the coach.
They're going to have a parade in Vail today.
There weren't any frogs involved in that game.
I'm going to tell you.
It's always a good day for me.
Terry, you want to answer that one?
I got 2 reasons to be happy today, and they sitting right underneath one another. Look at that.
And the last one's yours.
The last one is mine. My Bandy's Trojans, 31. A Newton Conover, 7.
Impressed with how bad they beat them.
Yes,
and that's what
that's what that was when you were sending me those scores. That's what impressed me the most because Newton Conover the week before, Lincolnton we know is not that strong, but they still put 35 plus points on Lincolnton. So I was thinking this was at least going to be a shootout. This is a rivalry game as well besides Maiden and Bandy's. I thought they'd put up a little bit harder fight than this one. But, it's always a good day for me when Green Nation over there in Catawba County, we can celebrate, and that Little Blue Nation is kind of upset.
Oh.
Yeah.
Both the Devils lost and Bandy's won, so Hunter's having a good Saturday morning right now.
Man.
And it's one of those games that most of the time when Bandy's and Newton play, I mean, they always coming out with they score. We talked about this yesterday on pregame. They always score a lot of points.
Yeah.
And this one was held to only 38 total.
I think that's what surprised me, though, this Bandy's team as a whole is they've just put numbers up all year. But based off what I've heard is they're one of the more one-dimensional teams in the conference as well running the ball. And yet they're putting up 30-plus points a game.
We're not got too far down this schedule to them Rebels and
No, well, you're right. That's going to be a good matchup. There are three teams that all still have to play each other that are going to be key matchups. It's going to be East Lincoln, West Lincoln, and Bandy's.
Yeah.
Is that the three-way or Maiden? I mean, Maiden wins 3 of those games. They're all in it, right? I mean, I know they lost.
That's
this
true.
game
I
to
mean,
Bandy's,
true. Our biggest loss was to North Lincoln, and congratulating again on Basil for beating West Lincoln. But 7-6, and the Rebels bounced back. Very impressed. This game was not as close on the Maiden side as what it looked. It was 31-6 with 40 seconds to go in the game, and Maiden scored twice.
Terry, I didn't know.
Have y'all done that second board yet?
Not you.
Okay, let me do that, and then I got a question for you guys. South Point 46-14 over Ashbrook. East Gaston Falls 47-7 to Forest View. Mountain Island Charter 22-7 over Union Academy. Bessemer City 24-12 over the Rambling Wreck from Highland Tech. And Thomas Jefferson 49-0
remains unbeaten
over Pine Lake Prep. Guys, in the past years, 5-10, as long as we've been doing this, you could pretty much look at every conference and say, this team's going to win it, this team's going to win it, this team's going to win it, this team's going to win it. Of our 4 conferences, you can almost pick the winner every year. This year, in all of our conferences, we have at least 2, maybe 3 teams that can win each one. And
I agree.
It is. I think it's fun. I think it's very entertaining for what's going on, and I think it's good. Like you guys were just saying, West Lincoln coming up, Newton Conover, Lincoln and Bandy's, East Lincoln, Lake Norman Charter. They got to win the Lake Norman Charter game. Terry, is this going to be weird me saying this out loud to you? You got to win the Lincoln game. And then you've got, Newton, Bandy's, and East Lincoln, like we were just talking about. You probably got to win the Newton Conover game. As West Lincoln Rebel fans, how does that make you feel? Talking in those terms, that's y'all being in the race, like I was just saying in these other conferences. 3-4 teams in these races are making us very interested.
Yeah, and as far as West Lincoln, the next game coming up, Newton and then Lincoln, and a tough loss against North put us in a hole, and we know that we got to get to Bandy's myself to see where you're at that time. If you can win against Newton and you win against Lincoln, and then the game against Bandy's is going to tell a lot. But you can't forget these teams in front of you. I mean, just on account of Newton got beat last night, they are a quality football team that you're going to have to come and play. Yeah. The best thing for us is I think we play them at home and then we go to Lincoln, but and that's Lincoln's homecoming too when we make that trip there.
What if I told somebody in Lincoln County this year before the season started, West Lincoln's going to lose at North and beat Maiden?
They would have said, well, there's no way.
Yeah. Have y'all had that conversation at the
They
school
said,
this
well,
year?
y'all might lose both.
We'll lose to North and beat Dayton.
I don't know if you heard me last night when we were talking, but I said, I think West Lincoln had their feelings hurt last week when they lost to North Lincoln, and they said, well, we got to come out here and prove to everybody that we should be 5-0.
I'm guessing there was a fire lit under some linemen's booties after only getting 6 points last week.
Yeah.
There is the difference from having a team who dropped their head to a team saying, you know what, we're better than this.
Yeah.
And they come up the next week and prove it.
Total credit to West Lincoln to come out here because, I don't know how strong Maiden is this year. That's the hard thing with the Catawba County teams. We don't really get to go. If they're playing at a Catawba County team, we don't get to go and see them unless they come to one of the Lincoln County schools. So I don't know how strong Maiden is this year. But West Lincoln, to be able to hold them to the scoring that they did, that was really impressive. Because, Maiden's always been on put-up numbers.
They were, and he was even mentioning last night like it was the first time they'd been shut out in the first half since the loss to Fred T. Ford in the playoffs, last year. So congratulations. And people keep on questioning me, and I keep telling them, I'm going to tell you what.
Don't question you.
Well, no, not that. I'm just telling you that West Lincoln defense is a lot better than what you think. And people kept saying they're going to get beat to the outside. They can cover the outside.
I said that last night. I said, look, even though West Lincoln lost to North Lincoln, they only gave up 7 points, and it was on a 99-yard breakaway. Yeah. Other than that, they held them all night.
How about this, honey? That's got to be just that whole game's got to be just make you stay awake at night. Losing by 1, 99-yard touchdown, and you just didn't get any other points.
Only reason you lost.
A missed tackle here or there, you guys win.
Only reason you lost, field goal, extra point.
Yeah.
That is it.
Well, how about this? West Lincoln and Bandy's combined right now before the season. Carson, this is a good stat too. Are combined 10-2. In their 2 losses, are combined. They've lost by a total of 2 points.
Yeah. Think of that.
They're 10-2, and they both lost their game by 1 point. Bandy's fell to Hickory 28-27, and then West 7-6. So you could be looking at 2 teams possibly that could have been going into week 10, Terry, at 9-0 in that conference over 1 point. Extra point special teams, guys. You don't think it matters? Make sure you practice those. You don't have a kicker, you got to be able to score for 2. We've seen really good teams that fall in the playoffs because they can't score for 2.
That's the reason I was praising Forest View for having Cluninger down there. This kid can kick.
Yeah, Terry. Terry, last night, community school. I texted Kevin. Community school Davidson had a kicker that was lining up. Putting it on the 40 and banging it through no problem.
There you go.
It's a
weapon. Must have one.
It is. It really
East Lincoln's got a pretty good kicker down there too.
And when you go back, and I know Kevin brought up a minute ago about, hey, we got these conferences. I kind of sat back and these differences of opinions, but we're all combining. Can we go and win a conference championship when we got so many that can compete to win it? Are we capable of winning a state title? Yeah. That's the next step. Do we have a team that is so powerful that they could run through here and win a state title? Besides, now I'm going to give Hunter Huss a bump up because I think they can. But do we have another team who could win a state title?
I'm going to say 3 teams can. I think 3 can. And here's why. All right, and we'll go over. Let's do our top 10 right now, and I will do that. How about that? Top 10. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You get 1 point for 1A, 2 for 2A, 3 for 3A, and 4 for 4A victories. 0 for 4, -1 for 3, -2 for 2, -3 for 3 points. Number 20, Highland Tech. Last night, Carson Dockery was there. They're number 20. No, you were not there. Sorry, you were at Davidson's.
I go there a lot,
but you do see them. You have seen Highland Tech.
I get it. No, yeah.
3-2 on the year. They've got -2 points. They're number 20. Number 19, Burns has -1 point here in our power poll at 2-4. Number 18 with 0 points. They're tied with Mountain Island Charter with 0 points. Mountain Island gets the tiebreaker at 17, and Community School of Davidson is at 18. With only 1 point in our power poll, the only team with 1, Newton Conover, is at 16. At number 15, no, I did that wrong last night. I did Forest View's math wrong. Forest View is 16, and Newton Conover is 15. You got to switch those 2 spots in your power poll if you don't have that. Stuart Kramer is number 14 in the power poll. Terry's going to do that for us. With 3 points, they're in the tiebreaker with North Lincoln. North Lincoln gets the tiebreaker at 4-2. over Stuart Cramerson. North Lincoln is number 13. Number 12 in the power poll is the Shelby Golden Lions. They've got 5 points. They tied with Maiden at 5 points. However, Maiden gets the tiebreaker 4-2 over 3-3. The next 3 teams all have 7 points here in our top 10 time. East Lincoln, West Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, 10, 9, 8 in that order. Jefferson gets the tiebreaker at 6-0. West Lincoln 5-1. And East Lincoln at 4-2. Terry, y'all are 1 point away from being number 8 there too, as well.
I'm very impressed.
Actually, if y'all had won that game, you'd be number 6.
Athletic 2A has 5 teams in your top 15.
There you go. How about number 7 and number 6 are tied right now, but 6 dominated 7 last night. South Point and Ashbrook both have 9 points right now. Both are 4-2. South Point with a tiebreaker over that. Bandies.
Yes.
5-1.
Who?
Bandies with 10 points. 10 points, 5-1. Crest Chargers, 13 points, tied with East Rutherford with 13 points, 6-0 and 5-1. Kings Mountain is our number 2 team at 5-1, and they will be playing on KTC Broadcasting next week. Our number 1 team, the Hunter Huskies, and that leads me into Terry's question about a couple of teams that could win the state championship. And I may have added a 4th one because there's always it's a path. South Point. Who are they going to have to play? They're playing 2A, not 3A schools. You got to put that math into it. Yeah, they got beat by some big schools, but if they're playing 2A schools and they've got 3A school numbers still, then South Point, no matter who they play, is going to give whoever's in the 2A a lot of trouble. So I think South Point can win it just based on path and what they've done in the past. I think Kings Mountain can win it. I think they're going to have the best offense around here in the next 3 weeks. So as soon as they get Eli back. And they're going to be about unstoppable on offense. I think if they don't turn the ball over, and their defense, they don't have to shut people out. If they can hold 20 and under,
yes.
Do y'all agree on that? That team's going to score more than 20 points.
Kings Mountain. Absolutely.
With that offense. So I think that could lead towards the state championship, depending on the
I'll say
path.
this right now. I think Kings Mountain might be the biggest test for Hunter Huss.
Well, it is. You're right. That's what I was about to say. Huss and Kings Mountain, I think Huss definitely has the talent. That's the other team that can win it. I think if Crest matchups work out because their defense is pretty good, the offense, I know I have no Crest people here to agree with me. Terry, what you think? I think their team is a lot like the Carolina Panther team. Great defense. They've got this big stud running quarterback. It's hard to tackle. They're just trying, just running through, score 20, 30 points and try to win 30 to 20, 30 to 10.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. If Crest's offense could average 32 to 35 points a game, I would say, no trouble.
Right.
But when you're
this
in
ain't
the
Willie
20s,
Green's offense.
Yeah,
this ain't Jalen Moore's offense right now. But they're not bad. I don't want to discredit them. I'm not saying it's a bad offense. It's a above average but not great offense, yes. I would say right now. I got you, JP. We're almost done with that. So my teams that can win the state championship off the top of my head, I think, was Huss, Kings Mountain, Crest could have a path, South Point could have a path. Other teams can make deep runs depending on matchups. East Rutherford's going to have a deep run, maybe just because. But last year we thought Maiden was going to have a deep run, blowing everybody out, kind of like East Rutherford did. And they got beaten first round, right? Wasn't it, Terry? Was it first or second?
Yeah, it was first.
Yeah,
first it was.
Round.
So you got to watch those teams that can score a lot of points and then can't score.
Out of all teams.
Yeah, to Ford.
Yeah, 16-0. But you have to sit back and also look at it. And what bracket are you in? Are you in the 2AA or 2A or where's Highbright now?
And also where the good teams are. It's not another whether. Yeah, like Terry's saying, the other teams where they're at. Like if they go big or small in the 2s,
that is huge.
Because you could have a bracket of all. You could be in the 2AA and have all the mediocre to okay teams, or the 3A and have all the big real teams. So all of that is going to matter. We'll talk about that more later. All right, we got to take a break. That's going to be our first segment, high school football. KTCBroadcasting.com. We'll be right back.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with my co-host Russell Dickerson, who actually went to college with the guys in Florida Georgia Line.
Me, Brian, and Tyler were sitting there writing songs, and we had been for a little bit. And then they wrote Cruise. I'm like, hey, dang, good for you, bro.
That's Russell Dickerson this week on Country Countdown USA.
Country Countdown USA with Lon Helton, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country, WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com. The summer sales event is underway at Elliott Supply Company in Polkville. Come see the new Husqvarna zero-turn mowers. Get 0% financing for 48 months. Well-qualified buyers may be eligible. And that's not all. See the Patriot zero-turn mower by Skag, now still priced at $6,099. Plus, get 0% financing for 48 months. Don't miss the summer sales event at Elliott Supply Company, Highway 182 North in Polkville. Call 704-538-8661.
Check out what the Green Meadows Golf Club on Kelly Road in Mount Holly has to offer. On Wednesday, you can play all day for $28, including cart and green fee. And ladies, Wednesday is your day too. Ladies play and ride all day for only $15. To make your tee time, call the Green Meadows Golf Club at 704-827-9264. You'll love it. The Green Meadows Golf Club, located at 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly. Come see what they have to offer.
Carpenter Porter Funeral and Cremation Services in Cherryville is there for you in your time of need. They're a progressive and comprehensive funeral service provider, promoting the highest ethical and professional standards while maintaining cost-effective service. Funeral directors John Porter and Hannah Garrett are there to help you and give you guidance during one of life's most difficult times. For more information, call 704-435-6711, located at 1100 East Main Street in Cherryville, and online at carpentersfuneralhome.net, a member of the National Funeral Directors Association.
Get your yard ready for fall and winter with a stop at Hometown Hardware in Kings Mountain. Hey, right now is the time to plant your grass seed and put out your fertilizer in line. Your lawn will be the envy of the neighborhood. And while you're there, see their huge selection of warted pumpkins. That's right, pumpkins with warts on them. Plus fall mums, and even Indian corn. Great decorations for your home. See Kyle, and you'll leave with a smile at Hometown Hardware, 110 South Railroad Avenue, Kings Mountain. There's no one like you, and Pandora Jewelry is opening up all kinds of possibilities to show that to the world with a new open bangle. Beautifully crafted from sterling silver with new interchangeable end caps. You can mix, match, and even have the freedom to customize like never before. Shop the new open bangle from Pandora Jewelry now and do see the wonderful Pandora Jewelry. Available at Facet Foundry Jewelry Studios, 530 South New Hope Road, Gastonia. Online at facetfoundryjewelry.com.
I'd rather be in Boone than Chapel Hill, but that's just, personal preference.
It's nicer. It is.
I know the person on the phone.
I know he appreciate it.
Will appreciate the. I'd rather be in Boone than Chapel Hill, and I lived there for 5 years, and I don't know if I could agree with that too much. It's at a certain point.
Hey man,
there is a line when you come back from spring break.
Personal.
For 4 years in a row.
Like I said.
After the things you see at spring break and the weather that you're at, and you come back to Boone, and everyone is wearing Columbia coats and there's snow on the ground. It could break your spirit, and that's in the spring.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even snow in the fall. All right, we got a caller on the line, Coach Tim Pruitt, Cherryville Ironman last night, following a very good back and forth game on WCSL with Milton and Danny. Tough loss, though. Homecoming last night for Cherryville. Carson was here last night covering him for the game as well. Coach, I hear the car door opening. Are you out riding about this morning?
Yeah, trying to get the little Ironman off the ground. And the little girl's got cheer camp all day. And going to try to make it to Boone maybe for a quarter of the game. Son's got a game like tonight. Little Ironman play 3 nights. Last just something coming up on our schedule. It's hard to believe. I heard y'all talking about playoffs. Sometimes you want to think ahead, but as a coach, you just try to take it week to week. And we got a big game coming up with Mountain Island this week, and our season really is in about the same place we were last year. Tough loss to Thomas Jefferson, pretty even game at times, but they did enough to win last week. And then last night, just like I said, going back and forth, and had opportunities to finish off the game. Didn't make a play here or there, and had just a couple bad breaks with a couple things that we did offensively in the first half that would have kept us from maybe having a 1-point lead at the half. We could have had an 8-point lead at the half, which would have been big. So our kids really played hard, and great turnout. Congratulations to Miss Katie Camp for being our homecoming queen last night. And just a tough morning. The sun's up, but it does look like Boone outside today with the mist flying in the air.
Coach, you're talking about the two close, tough losses so far here in the conference play. When we were talking about the other conference just a few minutes ago, looking at your conference, is this top to bottom depth wise? Is this one of the deeper conferences that you guys have had in the past few years in this conference?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, every team's I think a little bit better. I mean, obviously Highland Tech stepped their game up this year, and right now they're like us. They're 0-2 and not got a lot to show for it. But Pine Lake Prep, they lost a tough game with Thomas Jefferson last night. Union Academy. Every team in the conference has wins except for us and Highland, I guess. So it's one of those conferences where anybody I think can win. And right now we're still searching for our first one, which will be important coming up in next week. We got a Mountain Island Charter team, I'm sure, had a bad taste in their mouth last night when they got on the field and got a win after the way their game decimal went down. But we just got to keep improving, but hopefully try to find a way to get healthy. Last night we got Jaden Blanton back, which was big. He had an unbelievable game. I mean, when you have a 200-yard rusher and a 200-yard passer, you're thinking we're going to be in good shape. But with that said, their guys made plays when they needed to, and we didn't make enough plays to win the football game. So our conference is definitely really, really solid this year, and we got to, like I said, find a way to get healthy a little bit. Y'all were talking about the playoffs, and that will be a time of year I hope that we can get ourselves into position to be in the playoffs. But we just got to find a way to win our next football game, and that's what we'll try to get to this week.
I do got one quick question, just to kind of on the as far as Jaden goes. He in my opinion, just watching him run, and I guess you hopefully you'll agree with me as a coach. He really runs kind of hard, finishes his runs well. I thought, and I've seen the Bessemer game, and I've seen him in middle school and other things. You never know when you transfer up against varsity defenders, and I thought he's been kind of tough for some of these schools to kind of have to deal with and bring down.
Yeah, early in the year, it seemed like every game he was having an issue with ball security. And Coach Pierce has really worked hard with him, and he's realized it too. Like a couple weeks ago, I saw him working hard in practice. He likes to carry the ball in his left arm, but now he can carry it in both. And it's just an evolving thing. And last night with a couple people out, with our game plan, him and Jason Pitts both had a great game running the football. I didn't use Jason's stats from Richard last night, but he had some incredible runs as well. And you got to give credit to Luke Rayfield and the guys up front. Our conference is kind of unique. You got a team like Thomas Jefferson that's really physical, and they'll spread you out and run it. And you got a team that does more finesse like Community School Davidson, and they'll spread you out and throw it. And defensively, it shows on those teams. We thought we really could run the ball, but we went from a game where we rushed for 200 yards to probably games where we rushed for 300 yards. So, that just don't happen too many times, probably in the life of a season or in the life of a coach going from game to game. So, I just thought our kids played hard, and just a play here or there was just a difference in the game. It's amazing, when we talk to them about, hey, one play can make a difference. And last night there were several of those opportunities for us to either score points or keep them out of the end zone. And, our defense. They're in the middle of the game, really, I thought, buckled down. First quarter was rough. It's hard to simulate teams. Just like last week we couldn't simulate Nomi in practice. This week we couldn't simulate 6'4" wide receiver who hadn't played football. He's a senior and he's 6'4", and that's unbelievable that a kid like that hadn't played football until his senior year. And just really hurt us. We tried to get matchups in the secondary. We moved people around and just couldn't find the right answer at times, and give them credit. They were the ones making plays, and we were the ones that just couldn't quite get there, be it pressure on the quarterback, which we did a little bit better job in the second half, and then us just moving the football on a consistent basis. We really did that. We got the ball back, I guess, with 30 seconds to go in the game, and with 30 seconds to go in the game, that was only the second time we touched the ball in the whole fourth quarter, because we had it for about 7 minutes of it, and they had it, and they got points, and we didn't in the fourth quarter, and that was just the difference in the ball game.
All right, Coach, did you find Carson was at the game? I think he's got the stats for you.
Yeah, Coach, you ended up with, as a team, 50 rushes for 376 yards. I mean, Community School Davidson ends up with 375 total yards. So, I mean, on the ground, you outgained them as a whole. Jaden Blanton ended up with 249 yards, a touchdown on 28 carries. Jason Pitts had 54 yards on 8 rushes, 2 touchdowns. And you're talking about your quarterback as well, Dylan Harden, 11 for 20, 204 yards, a pair of touchdowns. And, really, you're missing Chapel Moss right now. When he comes back, I think you're going to have about as good a running back stable, definitely in that conference, maybe in the area with Jaden Blanton, Chapel Moss, and Jason Pitts. I mean, how do you see yourself or your team really incorporating Chapel Moss back into the fold?
Well, right now, in terms of our depth on defense, Luke Rayfield, right now, in my eyes, is one of our most valuable players. The kid don't leave the field.
Yeah.
Play special teams. We incorporate him into defense. We put in a pass rush package yesterday for this game, and he's part of that. And then Andrew Bean gets injured, and he's the backup middle linebacker. And Andrew Bean got back in the second half. I mean, that kid is just working his tail off. But right now, what I saw on the film in the very first game, Chapel was more of a fullback for us instead of carrying the ball and blocking. That's an area where we definitely could use him just because, one, Luke's probably going to go back to playing a little more defense for us and doing some things. But it's just an interchangeable team, interchangeable positions. I think our guys, like last night, we run the ball with Luke in the 55-man, and he really run that play better than any of our backs. Yeah. The way he's really sudden. But the thing about that, Jaden, when we would run that play, he would go to a wing or Jason would go to a wing, and those guys got to block the outside linebacker. So, we do have stable when they're all healthy, and Chapel's still a good ways away. He's out of his boot, got a good report, said he's going to probably get back a little early. So we'll just take it week by week and see if we can get him, Bruce, and a couple other people back into where we need them to get.
All right, Coach Terry, you got any questions before we get out of here?
No, Coach,
we did a lot of talking about
that's it. And I just sat here and I listened. I mean, a tough loss, and I'm pulling for you 99.55% over 100. But, because to me, you're a great person and you're doing the things the right way. And, I want it all to get switched around, not just for the guys there, but for you and all the fans and everything, because I think you're doing one heck of a job, Coach.
I appreciate that, Terry. That's the frustrating thing, I think, for me as a coach. You go back and just look at things, and we tell the kids rip off the rearview mirror and don't look back in the past, but you look at the things that you could have done as a coach different that could have helped put your players in a better position to win a football game. It just hurts when you get so close and those kids work so hard and you just not quite there yet. And as a coach, you got to keep working, keep analyzing, keep having faith in what you're doing, have trust in the kids, and hopefully the same vice versa. And we'll get to where we want to be. I told our group something special is going to happen for this team this year. Don't know when it's going to be. And, early in the year we won 3 games, and people were really excited about that. But, there were some things in those games that we need to keep correcting and working on, and we're still having a few of those things rear their heads, and we just got to keep going. It just we'll just keep working, and I appreciate y'all, and we'll take this off the air, and y'all have a great day, okay?
All right. Thanks, Coach. And
Thanks, yeah.
Hey, I got one more question for you real quick. You there?
Yeah.
Who is the best college football team in North Carolina?
A lot of people will say NC State. And actually,
thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
A lot of people would say, I heard this rumor that since they had the hurricane thing, State and App's got a little common open period. They could maybe play a game this year, but I don't think it'll happen. But it'd be nice. But, Appalachian's got a big Sun Belt opener today, and I wish those guys well. And, man, if things go well here this morning, me and Landry may go up. I got tickets available, but go up, get a bite to eat, and maybe watch the first quarter of the game and catch the rest of it on the radio. Just spend a little time away from the grind of what is a high school football season and enjoy my son for a little bit. So I hope Appalachian can be in that conversation at the end of the year. They really are playing some special football, I think, and they're doing it in all 3 areas. When you're good on the offense, defense, and special teams, it's tough. And they got a lot of great kids in the program. I think they played 7 quarterbacks last week, 6 running backs. And all of them are producing, so it's a fun thing to be around, and look forward to maybe seeing them do some special things through the year. Okay.
All right, Coach. Have a good weekend and enjoy the weekend. Good luck next week.
It. All right, thanks.
That's Coach Tim Pruitt, chair of Lyman football coach. Last night they fell 42-36 homecoming
The
with
game had
KDB.
seven lead changes in that game.
Yeah,
7.
Carson
I mean,
was there.
that game was wild, man. I mean, Austin Fekete, for the quarterback for Community School of Davidson, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, just under 300 yards. I mean, we don't really know that much about Community School of Davidson. But me, just seeing them from that game last night, to me, they seem like Mountain Island Charter light.
Yeah,
that's. I mean, not only color scheme and everything, but I mean, they've got. I'm telling you, man, that Fekete kid, he's a probably 6'3", 6'4" quarterback. He made a lot of throws. He made a lot of moves in the backfield. They could be something. They've got a couple receivers that had 2 touchdown catches. But that game was as entertaining probably as just about any. I think so last night.
Well, Cherville got some, like I said, going forward at Mountain Island Charter, home against Union Academy, at Highland Tech, at Pine Lake Prep, and then, of course, home against Bessemer City. Bessemer City last night beat Highland Tech 24-12. They are in the process of getting a new scoreboard. It was supposed to be here this week, but it did not make it. And we'll have that updated as soon as we can, and we'll be out there for that. Terry said that he pulls for Cherville 99.9955% over 100. So he took one decimal, he took one percentage, and then divided it by another 100. So I did the math on that. So Terry changed his. So if you were listening, you thought Terry pulled for Cherville 99.955, but the math he gave you was 99.995. So there you go. So for you math whizzes out there that caught that, did you catch that, Hunter, in your head?
No.
No.
I didn't read too much into it. I just thought Terry was speaking out his brain.
That's Terry math right there.
There was some fuzzy math going on over there for a second.
Quick math.
What it was.
Quick math.
All right. Any other news and notes? I got a couple on here. We might have another call or two here in a minute. Trevor, here's some Terry, here's some. I called you Terrible. Terry, here's some notes on West Lincoln. That was the most points they've ever scored against Maiden, according to the internet right here. It says the previous most was 20. Would that be right? Do you know?
I can really check on that for sure.
Check on it.
He's got his binder.
Also says the 4th time West Lincoln beat Maiden since 72. Is that right?
That's
West
close.
Lincoln beat Maiden in 74, 80, 85, and now 2018. The last win over Maiden was 1985. What's also familiar about the 85 date, if I'm correctly, that is the last time, if I'm correct, I'm just getting it all today. Good English, huh? Kings Mountain was the last time they beat Shelby in Shelby, was 1985. So there was some weird things going on.
Mid-'80s, man.
In 1985, it sounds.
I know for West Lincoln.
My sister was born in 85. That explains all of that.
Yeah, West Lincoln, last time they beat them 8-6. And again, that was Coach Wes Beam, his next to last year coaching. And West Lincoln had went through like 7 coaches since then that never beat Maiden, you know. And they lost 20 straight games to them.
You said that was Coach Sain's 100th game, too,
That was Coach Sain's 100th game.
That's a big win.
Huh?
What's his record?
He's 46-54.
Getting close to building a statue, Terry.
Hey.
Why not, man?
He's 12 away from being West Lincoln's all-time winningest coach.
Oh,
So
next year he'll have. Yeah.
Yep, I think so, too. I think we actually, now that we're mentioning him, JP doesn't know it. I think we got him on the phone. JP, do we got Tom Sain on the phone?
Yeah.
I knew he was on the phone before you ever wrote it on your pad there, buddy. That's how good we are.
That is wrong on just so many levels. What is it, the telepathic link or something?
It is.
Yes, I use the force.
We reading your
He wants
brain.
to talk to Terry. So
Now we have Coach Tom Sain of West Lincoln on the horn, 5-1. We talked earlier between them and Bandies. Both teams lost 2 games by a total of 2 points. West Lincoln's our number 2 team in defense overall so far, Terry, 5-1. And of course, I know Coach Sain don't give a crap, but they're number 9 in our power poll. Terry,
yes.
Coach Sain, you there?
Yes, sir. Right here.
Hey, bud, how's it going over there? It seems like it must be going pretty good this morning.
Yeah, it feels good this morning to get up. Had real excited about last night. Real proud of our players and especially our coaches too, and the job that they did last night at Maiden.
Well, getting up, we assumed you never went to sleep, so you did get sleep. I thought you was partying out there in Vail.
No, we stayed. We came back, watched a little film last night after the game. That's always good fun to kind of get back and at least look at some ideas.
All right, good there.
Well, Coach, I'm going to be number one. Congratulations. You're game number 100, and they always say you put a little asterisk out to the side. And a win like that, I mean, I don't care how old you get, how old I get, that's a game that I'm never going to forget, and I know you will not.
Well, I appreciate it. I still have that little plaque you gave me from the very first game we had back about 9 years ago. So I appreciate you doing that for me, and I still have that hanging in my classroom right now. But didn't even realize that was the 100th game last night. But now that after the game I heard that, so real excited for our players last night. They did a great job. Came out and just worked so hard this week, and getting to see how much their hard work has paid off, or is paying off right now. So we're a tremendous effort by them, both sides of the ball, offense, defense, and even special teams last night. So real excited for them, and just proud of the effort coaches gave. Get a lot of credit to those guys too.
Well, Coach, I'm going to tell you, as far as your coaches go and your players, from a loss last week, a tough loss, 7-6 to North Lincoln, to bounce back, I think this shows a lot of maturity of your juniors that have become seniors and was like, you know what, we're not going to let that loss dethrone our season, so they jump back this week with one huge win.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, and we were we wanted to come back and go back to work, and I tell you, our players did. They really went back, and Monday they started working, and they put in a great effort this week to get prepared for Maiden. Came out and didn't do anything special. We just did our normal stuff and stuck with the basics. Worked at it all week and prepared, and we had great focus and concentration last night against a really good Maiden team. I tell you what, they were really tough, and we knew that they would give us a lot with their spread offense and especially their defense too. So yeah, just great effort last night from the players.
Well, another one I want to ask you is go back and discuss, especially your offensive line, of doing their job for your backs and Seth Willis and them, and also touch base on that defense. That defense is really, for West Lincoln, this is one of the best defenses that I have ever seen West Lincoln have.
You get those front guys up on the front line and the offensive line, starting with the center, Jack Willis and Brady Sane and Drew Sane, guards, and then Harley Schrantz and then Brock Steele playing tackles, and then we put Nathan Beam in there, and we had Hayden Thomas playing tight end last night. So great effort from those guys up front to make some big holes for Brendan and Seth. Seth did a lot of running last night too, and Nathan Fansuk at fullback. But yeah, to go on to the defensive side of the ball, and I tell you, a lot of those guys turn right around and play over there. Chandler Carpenter at linebacker, and Nathan Fansuk at linebacker, and the secondary, Xander Pendergrass, and of course Seth plays defense also, and Brendan plays defense also. But most of those linemen get in there a lot of rotation too. So we're proud of those guys.
What about Cannon Bridges? I know he's been a step up this year on your defensive side too. A lot of people talk about his name when I hear quotes about West Lincoln's defense.
Yeah, I tell you what, he is so hard to block. I tell you, he is such. I didn't mean to forget him. He and Chandler play those outside backers in there. Those outside linebackers. They do such a great job in protecting the edge on for our defense. So yeah, I tell you what, Cannon Bridges, for a junior, and Chandler Carpenter being a junior also, they really stepped up, and the defense is playing tremendous.
Another thing, when you was up 31-6, and I already had people putting final score, West Lincoln 31, Maiden 6. Then next thing I know, I see it's 31-18. And they said that Maiden scored twice in the last 40 seconds. That stuff for you this coming week I ought to touch on. Just on account of we got a game one, don't lay down on me.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And they came up, and we figured that they would onside kick, and did. Thought we had it, and kind of slipped away there from the front line player. They picked up the first one to go back and score, and we, had maybe some substitutions in there that, to get in the routine flow of the game. I think that's, might have been part of that right there. So, but that's things that we'll need to brush up on this week. You're right.
All right, your upcoming games this coming week, Coach, against Newton Conover. I don't know whether you've already started looking at films of them, but in the South Fork Athletic 2A, each week is a step up, and you got to win this coming week since you've put yourself in a hole from a loss, but a big game against Newton.
That's right. You know, every week in our conference is an important week. You know, every week's going to be important. And, you know, we talked about that, you know, Monday when we came back to film, you know, that we needed to make sure that, you know, every week we were prepared and our focus and concentration would be there.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate you calling in. Thank you. Great job on the win last night. Good luck next week, and we'll talk to you sometime soon.
Hey, I appreciate it, and thanks for what y'all guys do. I appreciate our fans, too. I want to say a thank you out to those folks and our community who do a great job taking care of the team and feeding those pregame meals, things like that, too. So I really want to thank those folks also.
Yeah, those are people that you really can never
do without.
Yeah,
that's
exactly
it.
Right.
That's exactly right.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck for the rest of the season, and thank you for taking some time out to talk to us this morning.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, well, that'll take us.
I want to say one thing now. That is the most of the time, Coach Sam is just even keel. But you could hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
That was a huge win. And, you know, and it takes a little dagger off of West Lincoln because it's been so long.
Is that the biggest win in school history, not counting the one that maybe clinched a playoff spot?
Yeah. I would say as far as a regular season game, I mean, every time you play, and I'm going to mention this, every time you play a Maiden, and we got Bandies coming up, it's been a while since we beat Bandies. Mm-hmm. You know, those are things that everybody wants to say that let's end that streak.
Yeah.
You know, and for Coach Sane and the guys up there and the coaches up there, to me, congratulations.
Well, think about it. They haven't been in this conference for very long either. You know, most of the time it was just Catawba County teams. They were all in the same conference together. Didn't play many Lincoln County teams unless it was out of conference. So now you got the Lincoln County teams, Catawba County teams. You know, they're side by side on the map, but now they're right here in the same conference. So and now it's time for Lincoln County teams to say, yeah, we can beat up on you Catawba County teams.
Well, Terry, next week if Chase upsets Shelby, then you guys and Chase can have a big bonfire together.
Yeah, boy.
I'm going to tell you.
Now, real quick, here's some fun notes for you guys. The Burns Bulldogs. All right, what is my record? Did you take them over, Terry? 3 and 3. Are they 3 and 3 or 2 and 4? Right now? Here you go. 2 and 4. And I was trying to pull it up. Dang it. Hendersonville. Here we go. Of the teams they played, I'm gonna read you the names of the team they played: Alexander Central, Shelby, East Rutherford, Hendersonville, Ashbrook, Hunter Huss. Of those teams, which one has the worst record?
Of all of them teams?
Yeah.
Shelby.
Remember what I just said. Burns' first 6 games this year, the worst record team that they've played are the Shelby Golden Lions.
Yeah.
Alexander Central's lost once. East Rutherford hadn't lost. Hendersonville's lost twice, Ashbrook twice, and Huss none. So you got 2 undefeated teams, 1 win loss, and Shelby Golden Lions have the worst record of teams that Burns has played this year.
Yeah.
And you know, when you mention stuff like that and you start talking about it, that's like the win that Shelby had over Kings Mountain. Think about what Cleveland County fans they're so diehard, and we understand every bit of that. But if they would have lost to Kings Mountain, they would have been 1 and 4.
Yeah.
Go to Mount Pleasant, but you know, a win there, now all of a sudden they're 500, and everybody's saying, you know what, we can win the conference.
Yeah.
You know?
South Point started 1 and 3, won the state championship, right?
Yeah.
They did, and that was a year that Coach Lineberger, every time he would lose, he kept calling in, and we'd talk to him, and he goes, we're getting better.
Yeah.
Even after a loss, you know.
Well, there you go. Play defense and you know, play hard. You're going to win some ball games. It is time to take another break. Time to get in some NCAA football. Time to talk some Major League Baseball. Next week on the broadcast, our games we'll have on KTC. We're going to have 6 games next week. All 4 Cleveland County schools. We will now have video for all those games in Cleveland County.
How about that?
All the schools, every game. The support that we get in Cleveland County is outstanding. We do our best to do everything we can do in Cleveland County. The World Series, American Legion, basketball, baseball. We do all the sports on video that we can every Friday night. And now this week, starting with Kings Mountain, we're going to have them. So we're going to have number 1 versus number 2 next week, guys, on KTC Broadcasting. Kings Mountain, Hunter Huss. Maybe the game of the state, right? Best game of the state, maybe. I haven't looked at the schedule across it, but it's got to be on the top
Shut the
board.
front door. That's it.
Terry shuts the front door. Oh, gosh. We'll have Burns at Stuart Kramer. Cherville at Mountain Island Charter. North Lincoln at East Lincoln.
Yeah.
Crest at Stuart Kramer. I said that, didn't I? Kings Mountain will be Hunter Huss. No, Crest is Stuart Kramer this week. Crest is hosting Ashbrook next week. Is who they are. And see if I didn't skip over anyone. Shelby at Chase. Will that streak end? Is it 50 now? 51?
It's 50-something.
50-something. Terry don't have it in front of him. All right, that'll do it for this for our high school football coverage for morning. Went a little bit longer than we wanted to, but that means we'll just have to squeeze in some other stuff here later as fast as we can. We've got NASCAR playoffs.
Oh, man.
The Roval is this weekend, baby. The Roval is this
I'm glad
weekend.
Kyle Busch has already won.
He
has nothing to lose. He can go out there. Watch out, people. I'm telling you who's going to win, and we'll get that in a minute. I'm telling you. That's right.
I'm trying to listen to what we got to talk about, Terry.
We're trying to go to break, Terry.
Last night, Hunter, I know you weren't watching, but I had Terry on mute down in the hall. No,
right.
at my house before I came in.
Yeah.
Well, not on mute, but when you go to the break, you guys can see us on video on YouTube.
Oh, man.
So Terry's in here just ranting and raving, and I just text Carson. I was like, we've got to get a Terry cam.
That's what I'm saying.
When we go to commercial, you just have it on him, all he sees in silence is him just waving his arms.
Yeah.
And I was
and then you're just sitting there like, my God, he's serious.
So you're trying to do the funny lip reading, the NFL type things.
Yeah.
Terry right now.
I want my cookies.
All right, guys, watch us on YouTube every day at ktcbroadcasting.com. You can go there, go to the KTC video page, watch us on YouTube. And as always, listen on WCSL and WLON. We'll be right back, ktcbroadcasting.com.
Dr. John L. Cloninger III of Lincolnton will brighten your smiles with professional cosmetic dentistry and smile enhancement procedures for everyone. Even Duke fans will smile at the work of this Tar Heel. The office of Dr. John L. Cloninger III is located at 904 Doncha Drive. For an appointment, call 704-735-0765. That's 704-735-0765. And John III says best wishes to all high school athletes.
Maybe a punctuation mark on a career night.
Once upon a time is right now. Escape to the Renaissance Festival, a time-traveling adventure. Huzzah! Saturdays and Sundays, September 29th through November 18th, presented by Pepsi. Endless entertainments.
Jousting night. Men in tights. Oh my.
Sea fairies, the living mermaids, magic and merriment.
Come to the Renaissance Festival.
Saturdays and Sundays, September 29th through November 18th. There's music, comedy, circus entertainments, a giant crafts market, jousting nights, and a feast, all rolled into a non-stop great family adventure.
The festival is so awesome.
Discount tickets at Hedestita stores or print your own online at renfestinfo.com. Renaissance Festival, here I come.
When you shop our local advertisers, be sure to tell them you heard it on the radio. That way they'll know that their radio dollars they spend works for them and you too. Even in today's fast-moving world, radio remains the leading media to reach more people. % of Americans listen to AM/FM radio over the air. TV viewership is 89%, smartphone use is 83%, and personal computer use is 50%. So if you're a business owner, reach more people with the power of radio. If you don't tell it, you can't sell it. See the power of radio. WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL Cherryville. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
In Charlotte, the revolution has begun.
Side by side at the start-finish line. Let's see who wants to blink.
It's the Bank of America Roval 400.
Kurt Busch, Clint Boyer, these two drivers are not giving up. Truex battles back, and he'll shut Boyer down. We've got a challenge for the lead. The 18 on the inside. McMurray tries to slam the door.
The Bank of America Roval 400 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Sunday, September 30th at 1 Eastern on PRN. The Performance Racing Network.
The Bank of America Rovo 400 this Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com. There's a new Kubota for every job, every harvest, every task. From zero-turn mowers to utility vehicles to tractors to construction equipment, Kubota fits the bill. Kubota products are engineered to work only 2 shifts, day and night. Kubota has tractors ranging from 18 to 168 horsepower. Whether you're moving tons of earth or just cutting your lawn, Kubota will never let you down. And check out their zero-turn mowers with decks from 42 to 60 inches. The Kubota Z-Series can handle any terrain. See the lineup today at Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, at the Highway 74 bypass Oak Grove Road intersection in Kings Mountain.
Check out the great rates at Pine Mountain Golf Course. Play and ride weekdays for only $21. Seniors play and ride weekends for just $18. Or you can play and ride all day weekdays for only $28. Seniors can play and ride all day on weekends for $25. Make your tee time today by calling 828-433-4950. You'll love this challenging 18-hole par 68 course. The Pine Mountain Golf Course, adjacent to South Mountain State Park. Again, call 828-433-4950 for your tee time.
Don't
It's
play.
5 years, man.
Didn't play nobody. That's all right, Terry. I mean,
we just had to get through, 162 game season. It's no big didn't play anybody. No, it's no big deal.
Welcome back.
Kansas City wasn't on your schedule.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, then Terry would probably.
Kansas City, we'd have a better schedule. We'd have a better record than what we have.
If we played 30 games against Kansas City, we'd beat them 25 times.
Okay, so
I'll bump you up.
We'll beat them 28. What do you mean so
We'll beat
what?
y'all 28 times. I'll bump it up. We'll beat you 30.
Might.
Looking at Major League Baseball right now, this weekend, wrapping it up. Tomorrow is the last day, right? Am I right on that?
I think so.
I thought it started tonight.
I thought what started tonight?
No,
it's next.
No. It starts this coming.
Your playing game could be Monday. Your series starts Tuesday.
Okay.
Remember, we play 162 to decide who's better, and then after those teams have played 12 times,
Well,
then they got to play one.
Yep.
Decide who's better after that.
One game baseball is so much different than
It's
any
so
other.
terrible.
I like it personally.
It's fun. It's exciting.
It's fun.
But
I understand why you could be upset about it, but at the same time, that's why you win your division.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, because if I was the Yankees right now, I'd do like
that's
it's
your
a
incentive.
one
That's your incentive.
scenario of me getting to play again
And you're
Who did the
playing
Yankees
against
draw?
Oakland.
Who did the Yankees draw? Do they know yet?
The A's, boy.
A's.
They'll lose.
I don't know. I mean,
Let's see.
the A's. You don't have Shamanaya. He's gone.
Listen.
I mean, who's your,
No one likes the Yankees. They'll lose.
Listen, man.
They might win, but to me, they still lose.
Well, looking at looking across these schedules or these teams, you got Red Sox, Yankees, Indians, Astros, and A's in the American League, National League. Cubs, Brewers, Rockies, and Braves. Are the Cardinals still alive? How are they still alive? They've been choking like
Maybe
dogs
one game
for
back.
Weird
5 days.
Weird math. Baseball math.
Quick math.
I'm gonna click on this and see what it says because I did not. I thought they were officially done.
Hey, they don't get it.
They're actually 2 games
Two
back.
games back,
I wasn't
yeah.
listening to what you said actually. Yeah,
2 games to
2
go.
games back, 2 games to go. I guess they can still get in, but they had their chance. They've choked it away this week. They're in a perfect spot. They've lost 4 straight. Put it that way. If you've won 2 of those, you're tied with the Dodgers right now.
Think of this. Yankees could win one more game. Let's say they win one more. That would give them 100.
As a wild card.
And you could be out of it in 1 game.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
100
Well, when
wins.
there's a team
and you got
in the
one
same
chance.
division as you. How many wins do the Red Sox have?
Too many.
107.
100. What are you gonna do?
I know. Think of that.
This is the Cardinals used to run this. And I know you young guys might not know this, or you might know it. Back, I guess in the 70s, before 1970.
Yeah, no, don't know it.
Yeah, they used to have a at the halfway point.
Yeah.
The teams that were in first place at the halfway point made the NL ALCS.
Half division winners. Yeah.
The second half of the season champion would make the NL ALDS. So the Cardinals multiple times had the second best record in both the first and the second, giving them the best record in the National League, but didn't make the NLCS because the other 2 teams won a half for half. So one team got half, one team got half. Well, what's crazy is that baseball puts it's almost how many months? It's 6 months of 162 games. We got all these games and dates that we can actually play games but they can't figure out a really good format as far as calming down some games. I don't need to see the Orioles lose their last 85 games.
No, not at all.
And the Royals lose their last 85 games.
Actually, I don't even think their fans are watching.
Think of this.
Well, the Cardinals played the Braves last week, and there was half the stadium was full during the week. I mean, it wasn't even close to being full. And the Cardinals usually pack a stadium if it's on a weekend.
Yeah.
And these stadiums are not
look like Carter-Finley.
No, you're good. Think of this if they did this in baseball, and I know they've thought about it, putting everybody in a straight division. Everybody plays each other, and then you come down, and that means like if we're going to allow 6 teams or 8 teams, whichever one we're going to do. And then if the Yankees were in it, it would be like 3 against 4, and you play a series. But you'd have to have 8 teams.
Playoffs.
Yeah, you'd have to have 8 teams for that to happen, because if you didn't, somebody's going to get a bye.
Yeah, you'd have a play-in and all that stuff.
Somebody gets a bye now.
Well, yeah, you're right.
The one team gets a bye now, technically, I guess.
I'm just thinking it would be better if you was a Yankees fan to have it where it's all listed straight down.
We don't like Yankees.
Well, how about the fact that baseball in the playoffs is 1,000% different than the game that we've played the whole year?
Oh no, playoff baseball is easily, besides March Madness, is my favorite time of the year to watch. Playoff baseball is when everybody comes out. That's right. That's the best of the best.
It's different because you've got 40-man rosters, first of all, but the other thing is the weather.
Yeah.
Is that you play 5 straight months in blistering heat,
and
then all of a sudden in the playoffs, your pitchers are asked to be out here in 40-degree weather throwing all these pitches and hitting. You know how bad it feels when you hit a baseball in cold weather if you don't hit it solid?
You know how it hurts to get hit with a pitch?
Baseball? These guys
imagine being a catcher. It's freezing palm one.
Yeah.
95 in your hand. Bam.
Palm. Yeah, in your palm.
First baseman, too, I'm telling you. Playing first base isn't fun when
he just winces.
The guy's got arms.
the catcher just winces, and the ump's like, I felt
But it's a totally different game. You see everybody in parkas and stuff like that. I just remember the San Francisco Giants being out there in the game when they was playing Anaheim. You go to Anaheim, it's 20
and think about
warmer.
it. One of the 2 top teams really in one in each division play in cold weather areas, Chicago and Boston. Even if the Yankees make a run, that's upstate New York. Like, that's the city area.
Even if Oakland wins, that's Northern California. It's cold.
The Rockies make the World Series if they're
pretty hot right now.
I want them to make it, and I want it to snow every day, and then basically.
Milwaukee's in the talk. Milwaukee's cold.
They've got the retractable.
They got a roof.
Yeah,
that is the dumbest thing.
It's retractable.
That's so dumb.
It is retractable too.
Yeah, but think about it. Yeah. If you was in Colorado, man, all your games would have to start like 12:30.
If I was the commissioner,
nobody would want to play late.
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with.
Hey, if I was the commissioner of baseball,
we need more of them.
Commissioner of baseball goes up to Milwaukee, says, "You leave that thing open every game. This is ratings we're talking about. Ratings. If it snows even a half an inch, you keep it open."
All right. So anyway, you've got the only race you got left is Cardinals and Dodgers. Dodgers magic number is 1, and that'll get them in. If that happens, it looks like got you, JP. It looks like the Cubs are going to get the 1 seed, so they'll be playing the winner of Brewers and Dodgers versus Cardinals, and the Rockies and Braves. So the Braves will start off in Colorado.
Oh, that's not good.
Around the table.
I'll worry about that. Just the Braves have not played the Rockies.
Actually, let me back that up. If the Rockies lose their next 2 games and the Dodgers win their next 2 games,
it's wild.
The Dodgers are in first place. They can even get in first place.
You could have multiple play-in games. Multiple.
It looks like everything but St. Louis getting in is what's about to happen because they're still
around the table.
That's why you don't lose 4
around the table. Everybody that has made it so far, that's clinched.
Yep.
Who's your favorite to win?
Everything in
the World Series. That's your favorite. Okay.
Yeah, let's do a World Series matchup and winner.
Yeah, okay. World Series matchup and winner.
Oh man, Terry's going first.
I've got Rockies Indians.
Ooh.
And Cleveland wins the year after LeBron leaves. Title Town is back in town.
If it's up to me, I'm going to say Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you what. I think Atlanta's a year.
Terry.
No, they're a year too early.
Okay.
A year too early.
If you're watching online, I thought he just... I just thought Terry offended somebody. The 2 Braves fans to my right.
I got excited.
They both simultaneously fell out of the chair and wet their pants.
It's not offense.
What just happened next to me?
Listen, it's been a while.
I got excited.
It's a combination of excitement and just sheer fear.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I got that kind of influence on them. So I'm going to go, what's he going to say?
Hey, here's your good
No,
news.
I heard the A, and I said,
Here's the good news. You know, from watching the Cardinals, make the playoffs over the last 15 years. What happens is that it is all about matchups. Like, if you get in this one game playoff, who you play in it, home and away, how all that, it really is. You guys got a chance to once you get in the baseball playoffs, you guys got a chance to get to the World Series.
When the Braves are hot, they can beat anybody.
You're right.
They can.
They can. They're offense. Too much firepower.
I mean, if really, that's what I'm saying. The offense, I feel like you can pick offense up and make offense happen a lot more than you can. I mean, Earl Weaver, momentum is as good as your starting pitcher the next day. That's what I mean. And that's
who's the Braves' best pitcher?
Mike Fultonevich. Probably.
Yeah,
I'd
say that.
Put it this way: in every series, do not count on him to win 2 games. Count on one. Because inevitably a Wainwright or a Morris or one of our good pitchers always has a bad game.
Oh, yeah.
And then some dude, you got Jared Weaver over here going lights out.
Can't break 90.
Yeah,
he goes 7 innings.
Can't touch him.
Not every pitcher in the postseason could be mad bum. Okay, they can't be mad bum.
That's true.
Y'all don't forget everybody's still waiting on who I'm picking.
I mean, me too, Terry.
The world is waiting.
Go ahead, Terry.
Everybody.
Go ahead, Terry.
I'm waiting.
Houston against Milwaukee.
There you go.
And some people say, I'm going to tell you what, Milwaukee made some trades. They got Kane. They got Mustafa.
They got the MVP.
They got Yelich.
Yeah.
I mean, they picked up a few people that's really made this team pretty stout.
All right, we got to take a break. Any other news and notes you guys
They
want?
never picked.
We never picked.
You only
rude. When y'all fell off
the
Okay, turn it off. We're done.
When y'all fell off I just thought y'all, gave up on your picks when you fell off the chairs.
Are you sure?
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. Short and sweet because I know we gotta go to break. I got Houston, Chicago. Houston winning. I think they repeat. As rare as that is, they didn't really lose anybody.
I know.
Carson's got Braves and A's, and he's gonna have to figure out what hat to wear on Saturday.
He's gonna figure out which A he likes more. Which font's better.
In the AL, I gotta go with Houston. They have too much pitching depth. They have too much depth. On the bench, you can pull Tyler White in, and Tyler White can get you big hits.
And Verlander is Verlander.
And this is no knock. And this is no knock against how good the Red Sox have been. Houston's just that good.
Yeah. Not often can you actually throw all 5 starters in a postseason series. They can do that. So I'm gonna say Houston. And, man, I think it'll be Chicago and Milwaukee in the NLCS. And I guess I got to go Chicago.
How many pitchers are going to be on the rosters, roughly?
At least 12.
That's what I was getting to say. 10 to 12, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, JP, it's time to take a break. We'll be back in just a few minutes on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Start your engine!
Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Justin Allgaier takes the lead away from Cole Custer. Custer out of shape in turn 2.
It's the Drive for the Cure 300 presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina.
Those two now make contact. He puts a bumper on Matt Tipp, turns him off turn 2. Also involved Elliott Sadler.
Here's a battle for the lead. Hemrick looks inside of Christopher Bell as they go to 1.
The Drive for the Cure 300 presented by BCBS of North Carolina. Saturday, September 29th at 2:30 Eastern on PRN.
The Drive for the Cure 300 this Saturday afternoon at 2:30 on Carolina Country WCSL 92.3 FM, 1590 AM. Online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
Once upon a time is right now. Escape to the Renaissance Festival, a time-traveling adventure. Huzzah! Saturdays and Sundays, September 29th through November 18th, presented by Pepsi. Endless entertainments.
Jousting night. Men in tights. My.
New sea fairies, the living mermaids, magic and merriment.
Come to the Renaissance Festival.
Saturdays and Sundays, September 29th through November 18th. There's music, comedy, circus entertainments, a giant crafts market, jousting nights, and a feast, all rolled into a non-stop great family adventure.
The festival is so awesome.
Discount tickets at Hedestita stores or print your own online at renfestinfo.com. Renaissance Festival, here I come.
They've got them all. At Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, they've got Ford, Chevrolets, Buicks, Toyotas, Nissans, Hondas, Kias, GMC trucks, and more. What are we talking about? We're talking about the huge used car selection at Renato Auto Mall. Before you buy, come see Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And they are now your SUV headquarters. Over 50 to choose from, new and used. All makes, all models, and 10 to choose from, priced at under $10,000 at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at RenatoAutomall.com.
Let's all face it, we need and depend on our vehicle to get us to work, vacation, and get to and fro. Well, proud to say, Bruner's Automotive in Cherryville is the place to take it. That's right, Mike and his experience in the automotive field is super. Just $30 now, and you can have your car or truck oil change. Yes, $30 out the door for an expert oil change. Wow. Stop and see Mike today at Bruner's Automotive Cherryville. Proud to support Cherryville High School Ironman football.
When you shop our local advertisers, be sure to tell them you heard it on the radio. That way they'll know that their radio dollars they spend works for them and you too. Even in today's fast-moving world, radio remains the leading media to reach more people. 93% of Americans listen to AM/FM radio over the air. TV viewership is 89%, smartphone use is 83%, and personal computer use is 50%. So if you're a business owner, reach more people with the power of radio. If you don't tell it, you can't sell it. See the power of radio. WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL Cherryville. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com. When you need service on your automobile, do what I do and what most people around this area do. They take it to Rick's Automotive in Cherryville. They do it all at Rick's Automotive in Cherryville. Rick Walker and his staff is dedicated at providing you the best in automotive care, from an oil change to a tune-up to a full set of tires. Be sure to check out their tire specials before you buy. That's Rick's Automotive, 1001 East Main Street in Cherryville. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30. Just call 704-435-3801 for Rick's Automotive in Cherryville.
And good morning and welcome back to Campers Inn of Kings Mountain Saturday Sports Talk, where we talk all kinds of sports. We've got high school and football, baseball, basketball, American Legion here in Gaston, Cleveland, Lincoln County. We've got Charlotte Hornets and NF and NBA, Carolina Panthers and NFL. We've got Clemson football, Duke football, Carolina football, and basketball on KTC. We've got NASCAR racing on KTC. The Roval's in town this weekend here in Charlotte. I want to congratulate our winner, our NASCAR winner. She won a night at the Hampton Inn, 4 tickets, some fun money, T-shirts, all kinds of fun stuff there. Congratulations to her. We gave away our Panthers winner this week. He won 4 tickets, T-shirts, and jerseys and stuff as well. So check out the WhatsApp Shopper every week. You can check out my article. I give away $50 every week online. All you got to do is sign in and see if you can guess the NFL games. You don't have to beat me. That's the good news. The bad news is you got to beat everybody else to win the $50. And I didn't do it. The first couple of weeks.
Your own little FanDuel going on.
Yeah,
there,
the first couple of weeks I don't you don't do too well. Who had? And we're about to talk NCAA football real quick in this room. Raise your hand if before the season started you had the Dolphins at 3-0.
I still
who
don't
are the
believe in
undefeated
Tannehill.
teams? It's Miami. The Rams.
Well, I could add the Rams.
Who's the other undefeated team?
Rams could go 7-0.
Chiefs.
Yeah, who had that before the season?
No one.
All right. In fact, let's talk a little NCAA football. Terry got on a rant last night. I turned my back, guys, last night, and I look in here. Terry's on the mic and Joe's on the phone, and they're talking NC State football. Like, all I did was turn around.
Surprised?
Trent Marty walked in. And we started talking about the Burns game for 2 seconds, him and Huss, and I turn around and Terry's in here talking NC State football with Joe Clemmer.
I knew.
You know what this proves?
To Marshall.
You know what this proves? We cannot leave you unsupervised.
That's exactly right. You can't. But I'm going to tell you something. If you watch the game, and don't get me wrong, I'm State man up one side, down the other one, but I flipped it over last week, and I was in between the race and then the game, but I'm more on watching the Wolfpack play. Because people talk about Marshall, and when you speak of Marshall and you go to the NFL, they have a lot of corners, safeties, and people like that who make
Randy
the squad.
Moss. I'm about to say, they
Randy Moss,
Durand.
But, I mean, besides, a big
straight
time,
cash, homie.
Yeah. But They have a lot of guys do it. And if you was watching the game last week, they had a Grant kid that played safety for them that lit State up. I'm talking about if you come across the middle, and then I wondered, I said, okay, I'm with this. Whoever that defensive backs coach and your corners coach and stuff like that knows how to tell his players how to hit. Because if you got hit by them, you knew it. And for State to go up there and win 37-20, a lot of people say, my God, it's Marshall. But Marshall had the best home record in NCAA history going into last week. So
Terry, I'm glad you watched. Lord knows I didn't. I was busy watching my team, who's a title contender.
I have a hard time when we get to this darn poll of how come State, when we beat somebody, how come we're not ranked? Come on, guys.
Marshall.
Terry, I got one for you. Duke and Kentucky have basically been in the basketball poll for forever.
For like 157,000 years.
Yeah. This past week was the first time both of them were in the football rankings together.
Yeah, think of that.
That's wild.
Really?
Yeah.
Kentucky has looked good.
Yeah.
They have surprised people, this Kentucky team.
That
Their offense.
running back.
What is his last name?
That's what happens when you pay your basketball players more than you pay your football players.
It ain't cash, is it? That's the linebacker.
No, it's oh man, I'll look it up.
It's straight cash, homie.
Straight
now,
cash,
speaking of
homie.
straight cash, homie, a helicopter landed in Lawndale last night.
Use that money up while you can, I guess.
I'm gonna repeat this. A helicopter landed in Lawndale last night at a
Use
football
that money
game.
while you can.
The last time that I remember a helicopter landing at one of our games, the coach recruited the quarterback, and then he decided to the Parade All-American quarterback, by the way, the National Player of the Year, and decided to bench him after he got nicked up because his line was blocking like matadors in the second quarter, to put in the backup who had a good game against the scouting team one time. That was his quote, not mine. The backup had a good game against the scouting team this week. So we get into this week. This same coach who flies a helicopter into Lawndale to watch Burns and Hunter Huss.
It's money. It's money we gave him. If you want to
It's
think
money.
about it.
It's your public tax money. It's all your money. Yeah, it's all money. It's all ours. So he flies in with his. Have they won a game this year?
Yes.
Who'd they beat?
Pitt.
Yeah,
Wow,
they did.
Pitt should just stop everything they're doing right now and end the program.
Best
If
thing
you got
Pitt's
beat.
produced so far is James Conner.
East Carolina
Aaron
has
Donald.
just stomped them out. We don't care. Wait, time out. Both of y'all are so young, y'all are stupid.
No,
Larry
we're talking about
Fitzgerald,
right now.
okay, whatever.
We're talking about right now.
We're talking about right now. We live in the moment.
Terry, you ever heard Dan Marino or Tony Dorsett?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I've heard of it.
I know. Listen,
Let me tell you something. I don't just look up. Where did Dan Marino play college football at?
Pittsburgh is where it went from Dorset to Dorset. I know that. All right. I don't know.
Excuse you. First of all.
Believe it or not, fellas, there was some football before 1998.
Hey, look. Larry Fitzgerald, I knew that, okay?
You got Larry
Larry
Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald.
Donald, man.
Aaron Donald. Carson's got his Ram shirt on. But yeah, Dan Marino and Dorsett played there too sometime. Long time ago. Dorsett was the fastest cowboy they ever had until Bob Hayes came around, wasn't he?
Yep. I want to know. I want to know. Who was he recruiting? Who was he there to recruit?
Was it Davis? Is that the only person that would have been there that he would have been?
Mooney.
You got two at Huss then?
Yeah.
He's looking at. Is Davis in consideration for North Carolina?
No, he's got like a list of 5.
Oh yeah, just to let you guys know, that was Larry Fedora that flew.
Yeah, Larry Fedora, North Carolina's football
Lawrence, coach. I don't believe in CTE. I think that football will cause the decline of American society, Fedora.
That's the things this coach says. That's the things this coach does. And then this weekend, I'll say I'm a big Chaz Surratt fan. But what I'll also say, I think that Fedora was wrong and unfair to both Chaz and Nathan Elliott this week.
He's never stuck to either of them.
It's been a year and a half of this.
Yeah.
And Chaz is available this week. So you got to make the decision, don't you, Terry, Coach? Either one, I'm going to start Chaz and put him in before the game starts and practice him. Or this is Elliott's game this week. You're on a short week.
Yeah. Stick with somebody.
Chaz has not practiced with the starters, and who knows how long.
There you go.
And
Probably over a year.
And so he goes in the game, and they're like, well, Chaz threw out this pick and this pick and this pick. Okay, if you practice against backups or haven't even practiced in 4 weeks, I don't even know what the rules are on that, and you're practicing nothing against backups, and they stick you in against the number 16 ranked team with the defense, and you haven't practiced with these guys, there's going to be some timing issues. Have you noticed how many of the interceptions or picks there was nobody there, or he threw it to the wrong person, or ran the wrong route or something. So it's unfair to both Chaz and Elliott. Either you should have let Elliott play that whole game unless he got hurt or something, and then put Chaz. But the rotation stuff has got to stop. It's ridiculous.
It doesn't work.
I do not like the two quarterbacks. I mean, we go over this even in high school. I don't like that at all.
I'm gonna say something real quick.
It worked one time, and people think it's. I mean, Chris Leak, Tim Tebow, and then people are like, we can do this." You can't.
I think it would work but the only way that it would ever work, a two quarterback system. Y'all just hang with me for a sec. If you were running the option.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what Florida.
Elliott and Chaz aren't the same quarterbacks.
No.
Tebow and Leak aren't really the same quarterbacks.
Not even close.
So my always thing was, we say about Cam and all this stuff. Why is Armani not the backup, or Joe Webb not the backup instead of Derek Anderson,
or Colin Kaepernick?
Or Colin Kaepernick. Think about if you're an NFL team.
Yeah.
If you're an
NFL, you want to play the same style.
If you're an NFL team, you could sign RG3, Tebow, and Kaepernick, and you wouldn't have to ever worry about them getting hurt because you could just rotate them in.
Yeah.
And that's what if you're going to rotate quarterbacks, they got to be the same system. Cowboys tried. Didn't they do it with Walsh and 8 minute one time for a couple games?
Oh yes.
And then they figured out real quick it was stupid.
That does not work.
College football, you just saw the example this week. What was one of the made headlines? People were going back and forth about
they completely opposite type of quarterbacks?
No, what was the main thing was Clemson, Kelly Bryant. He's now been benched because they were playing both of them, and then they saw that, hey, the freshman is better than Kelly Bryant. That's what Dabo Swinney wants more than just an athlete at quarterback. He wants a pocket passer. So he is going to start. I cannot remember the kid's name for the life of me. Trevor Lawrence. He's going to start Trevor Lawrence over Kelly Bryant. So now Kelly Bryant said, I'm transferring.
It was good for him.
When I was watching the game Thursday when they were playing Miami, you had Elliott, who ended up being 16 out of 25. Chaz was 4 out of 10 with 3 INTs.
So 7 out of 10 were caught.
Yeah. You're
He's
exactly
throwing catchable balls.
I mean, the one that he threw to the out pattern, that guy had no chance because Chaz stared him down the whole way.
Yeah.
The guy from Miami just stood there like, you just get rid of it, I'm taking.
That's what makes me wonder, how in-depth are these is this offense if you're just going to stick him in there with no practice and then say, hey, throw a timing route, throw a comebacker, throw an out pattern. What?
We talked about it. We talked about it a little bit a while ago. The quarterbacks that Fedora's had that have been good in college, he didn't recruit them. He didn't get them there.
No, you're right.
You had Marquise Williams and you had Mitchell Trubisky. Both of those were there beforehand.
I'm gonna give you my scenario on their two quarterbacks. Their two quarterbacks need to be one. Elliott cannot run the ball. I'm just telling you. Elliott cannot run the ball, and then when he tries to hand it off, his tuck into his running back is never good hands. They fumbled twice.
They shouldn't be running the same plays.
On plays like
him and Chaz shouldn't be running the same plays.
All
right, we've got to pick games, so we've got to get to another break. Louisiana at number 1, Alabama.
Alabama.
Orange versus Orange in Clemson.
This could be a slip-up game, but I have Clemson.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think Mo Neal has a good game though for the Orange.
I'm
gonna tell you something. This is when everybody starts hollering, we need Sweeney's job because if they lose to Syracuse from what happened,
yeah.
I mean, this is a freshman. This is his first chance as
at a true first start.
And you lose.
Yeah. I want everybody to make sure they watch Clemson's Justin Foster.
Yeah.
He's got the size and talent, I think, and he's extremely smart, and I think he's got the work ethic. He's an NFL size.
He going to the league.
He's an NFL size player, and to where on defense, they don't even know where to put him. Really, he's like a Peppers type, maybe phenomenon once he gets into the weight room. Really good, but he's amazing. 12, West Virginia at number 25, Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
That's not a bad pick. I was going to take Texas Tech.
I'll take Texas Tech.
All right, guys.
At home.
Remember, let's try to do this as quick as possible. We got to go. We're way behind on this. All right, Central Michigan at Michigan State, number 21.
Michigan
State.
Virginia at NC State.
State.
Okay. Tennessee at number 2, Georgia. Baylor at number 6,
Oklahoma.
Is anybody picking Pitt to beat UCF after losing to Carolina?
No.
Number 18, Texas at Kansas State.
Kansas State.
The game of the week, Old Dominion at ECU.
East Carolina.
Old Dominion.
East Carolina.
Old Dominion.
That's their first football game after Florence, man. ECU's they're gonna be about it.
Yeah, but Old Dominion's riding high right now.
That's right.
But that's the thing, up, down.
That's right. Old Dominion has one win.
Yeah.
That's right.
So Appalachian beat Charlotte, who beat Old Dominion, who beat Virginia Tech. Appalachian should have been ranked 12th after only barely losing to Penn State, right?
Yes.
If Wisconsin had one loss and it was to Penn State by a touchdown, would they be ranked?
Yeah.
Well, okay, then that's all I need
Penn
to know.
State overranked.
Yeah, I know that. No, that's true, too. And Southern Mississippi at number 10, Auburn.
Auburn.
Warriors.
14, Michigan at Northwestern.
Michigan.
Northwestern. I'm going Northwestern.
I'm thinking the Wizards going to pull one, too.
Gators at Mississippi State, number 23.
Florida.
Gators.
I'm going to go Mississippi State.
Virginia Tech at Duke, number 22.
Duke.
Duke, I cannot believe it.
I can't believe I said that, though. God.
Number 4, Ohio State at Penn State.
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
OH.
I-O.
There it is.
Those are two of the most, I don't know if the despicable is the word for them,
But it kind of
programs.
is. It kind of is.
Look.
Boundary pushing programs.
All I'm saying, I'm not an Ohio State fan, but let me tell you something. Urban Meyer's the top coach in this
Yes, he
in
is.
college football.
Number
Never
7,
picked against him.
Stanford
It's like
at
a
number
subpar
8.
human, but
Number 7, Stanford at number 8, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
The Fighting
Stanford's
Irish.
too physical.
Notre Dame's defense is a lot better.
This is at Notre Dame?
Yes.
I give the edge.
South Kakalaki at Kentucky Bluegrass, number 17.
Dude, Kentucky's riding high. I'm going with the Wildcats.
Kentucky.
Give me that head, Corso. Wildcats.
USC.
Just go throw that tiger on.
Give me the Tiger. Close enough.
Number 20, BYU at number 11, Washington.
Washington.
BYU.
Yeah, I'm going to go Washington.
Ole Miss at number 5, LSU.
Well, heck, we know
LSU.
LSU, man. If they win this game, they should be number 1.
We got to make sure that we got to keep up with these picks, and then y'all got to keep up with them on the pregame show.
Yeah,
because I would like to see y'all's records.
We can get a piece of paper, and in between segments, we can go through.
I'd like to see y'all's records on the.
I'll turn mine in on
yeah. Yeah. And then next week we'll come in on Blazing 5. We're gonna tell you who to bet on. Hey.
Number 19, Oregon at number 24, California.
Oregon.
Why is
that's bounce back.
Why is App State not listed anywhere else?
They are.
Where did I miss them at?
You
I did. They're right there.
Right there.
South Alabama at the Appalachian State Day, $23 at Kid
There
Brewer
you
Stadium.
go. Appalachian State. You score 70 again.
I don't think on South Alabama. South Alabama's not Gardner Webb. Come on.
Okay, they score 60.
Yeah, I'll score 60.
All right, we'll be back in a few minutes on ktcbroadcasting.com.
All right, we got a piece of paper right
Chris.
They've got them all. At Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, they've got Ford, Chevrolets, Buicks, Toyotas, Nissans, Hondas, Kias, GMC trucks, and more. What are we talking about? We're talking about the huge used car selection at Renato Auto Mall. Before you buy, come see Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And they are now your SUV headquarters. Over 50 to choose from, new and used. All makes, all models, and 10 to choose from, priced at under $10,000 at Renato Auto Mall. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at RenatoAutomall.com.
In Charlotte, the revolution has begun.
Side by side at the start-finish line. Let's see who wants to blink.
It's the Bank of America Robo 400.
Kurt Busch, Clint Boyer, these two drivers are not giving up. Truex battles back, and he'll shut Boyer down. We've got a challenge for the lead. The 18 on the inside. McMurray tries to slam the door.
The Bank of America Robo 400 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Sunday, September 30th at 1 Eastern on PRN. The Performance Racing Network.
The Bank of America Rovo 400 this Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Bill Shuford Heating and Air and American Standard presents the American Standard Set the Standard event. Now through November 30th, get up to $1,000 in discounts on qualifying American Standard equipment, or get 0% APR financing with 60 equal monthly payments, plus many more special Set the Standard event offers. See Bill Shuford Heating and Air for all the details. Bill Shuford Heating and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Call 704-484-0025. The summer sales event is underway at Elliott Supply Company in Polkville. Come see the new Husqvarna zero-turn mowers. Get 0% financing for 48 months. Well-qualified buyers may be eligible. And that's not all. See the Patriot zero-turn mower by Skag. Now sell priced at $6,099. Plus get 0% financing for 48 months. Don't miss the summer sales event at Elliott Supply Company, Highway 182 North in Polkville. Call 704-538-8661. Check out the monthly specials at the Cherryville Country Club, open to the public with no reservations required. It's prime rib the first Friday of each month, crab legs on the second Thursday and Friday of each month. It's steak and wine the third Thursday and Friday of each month, and fish camp night, fourth Thursday and Friday of each month. And don't forget about their Sunday buffet, 11 to 2, $16 for adults with discounts for kids. Plus check out the Chicken on the Run bucket on Sundays. 8 pieces of chicken, 2 sides, and rolls for $14.50. Cherryville Golf and Country Club, Roy Acre Road, Cherryville.
Summertime fun starts in your own backyard with a call to Gage Pool and Spa in Gastonia. And right now, you can get low financing with approved credit on your new pool. Offer good on both above ground and in-ground pools. Low financing with approved credit. See Gage Pool and Spa for all the details. That's Gage Pool and Spa, 3025 Union Road, Gastonia, in the Food Line Plaza at Robinwood Crossing. Open 7 days a week.
Oregon and Cal. They all had Oregon.
Yeah. Everybody had Oregon. Welcome back to Campers Inn Saturday Sports Talk. Speaking of button hooks, Carson, did you see Jason Witten's excellent article this week?
He can write?
Yes.
Now, he learned that quite a few years ago.
Yeah. At Tennessee. You're the only
They made him go to class?
You're the only 10 I see. Jason.
He learned it online.
He did. Yeah. He did an article this week. I can't remember who it's for, but
probably Players Tribune.
It was on his. It was about the Y option route, and Terry will know what I'm talking about. It's basically he said about 60% of the time he ran that same play every time. He wrote the article about how unguardable it is, and if kids talk to any wide receiver, anybody going out for a pass, Terry, I'd highly recommend this. And it's something that you can do if you're just because you're not as fast as the person you're guarding, or faster than the person that's guarding you, don't mean you can't do technique and get open. Larry Fitzgerald's not as fast as you anymore. No. Chris Carter couldn't outrun by anybody. He's second in touchdowns all the time, I think, or third, something like that. So, what Witten's talking about hips and footwork.
Yeah.
So the Y option route, and we used to talk about this when Romo was quarterback, and they didn't even have routes most of the time. It was almost all nonverbal communication where you got to go up, and Witten says you got to figure out the defense, figure out which one's guarding you, and how you're going to run the route off it. And then Tony's got to see the exact same thing. So back in the day when people would say, well, Romo just threw that to nobody, I'm like, no, technically they were off. Everyone that Tony would throw looked like it was nobody. You'd see Witten or Austin running the opposite way, and it was a bad read. So he was just talking about the route, and I think it's a very good teaching article that he wrote. Like, I thought it very excellent about how you attack, and what you can do. You can run at a defender, and they've got to turn their hips.
Yeah.
And as soon as they turn their hips, you go the other way, and that's pretty much kind of how he was kind of basing it. You got to make them uncomfortable, get into them, move their hips, move their feet. And when their feet move, as soon as it moves one way, you go the opposite. And he was just talking about that. And I was just wanted to recommend it as for anybody, the coaches or anybody, look up Jason Witten's article. I think it's great. Now let's talk about the my power poll and the What's Up Shopper. Win $50 every week. This week I went a little in depth. We've played 4 games, roughly.
Right? Yeah. You start to see the strengths and weaknesses of
3
most
games.
teams.
Some teams have played 4, but what I wanted to do was look at offense and defensive rankings. See if this makes sense to you. So if you're 10th in offense and 10th in defense, that means 20, right? Okay, 20 if you add them together.
Quick math.
So that's kind of how I did this, and then I've added in the points per game. Also, to give you kind of an insight of every team. So this is going to take a minute, but we're going to go down through, and you guys can make comments as we go down through real quick. The top 12 teams are obviously the teams that have qualified for the playoffs, everyone below that I have in a certain order. I got a group of teams that don't have 2 losses, and a group of teams that do have 2. We're going to start with teams that do have 2, and I'm going to put in the order of worst in rankings, and we're going to blow some minds here. Y'all ready?
Worst
in rankings. So these are teams 18 through 28 in my power poll. We've eliminated 4 teams so far. Buffalo, the Raiders, Cardinals, and 49ers. You're not winning the Super Bowl this year. Anybody don't agree with that?
Well, I really put San Francisco in that.
Rumor is the stud that is Jay Cutler might be on his way to San Francisco.
Now, if Dez and Romo show up in San Fran, I'm putting them back at number 1 on this list, wherever that's at.
Well, Jay Cutler can't smoke on the job in California, so.
Yeah, so here we go. Believe it or not, the worst team when you add offense and defensive together with 2 losses in the NFL at number 28 in my power poll. And I didn't believe it. I had to do all the math and recheck it.
Cardinals?
They're already out.
Oh.
I get rid of teams every week. I get rid of one team.
Oh, they're already
out.
This
week you're done. You can't win a Super Bowl. We're at number 28 right now. The New England Patriots. Guys, 25th offense, 19 defense. Their point differential right now after 3 games is negative 6.7.
They could lose very well this weekend.
Well, and there you go.
Who they playing?
Miami, the Dolphins.
Yep. If you lose this weekend, you're 3 games back.
And technically 3.5 because
everybody knows that they that they struggle in September. Well, it's about to be October.
So normally I put the teams that hadn't won a game in the bottom spot, which it would normally be this team. Texans are the next team. They're 0-3, 23rd in offense and 17th in defense. But the Patriots have 46 combined, and they're at 40, so they're so far higher than I couldn't ignore that. Giants at 26, Detroit at 25, Chargers at 24, and then Terry, your Cowboys, they come in at 23 based on these rankings.
Yeah, their defense is pretty decent.
Defense, you guys are 7th right now, 17 points a game. Now remember, over the course of NFL history, it's been 24 a game. Give me 1 second, Hunter.
Go ahead, yeah.
No. Over the course of history, it's been 24 points a game. NFL average. This year it's actually down a point to 23. So give or take, if your team is averaging between 20 and 26, you're average. So if you see a score on the board 20-26, that's average. So you can kind of adjust on whose fault it was you lost the game, whether defense or offense. Dallas is clearly on the offense right now, giving up only 17 points a game, well above average. Terry, your offense is averaging 13.7, second worst in the NFL behind the Arizona Cardinals. Go, Adrian.
I just want to say this about the Cowboys news coming in. Sean Lee not playing this weekend.
Yeah. Sean Lee's out.
Imagine that, but he's not playing this weekend.
Cowboys off to a tough start, Terry.
Off to a tough start.
He said last night they go. What did he say, Carson? 12-4 still?
I
thought I heard that down the hall.
You got to understand. The only thing I'm going to say about this is Dallas against conference opponents. I mean, you have to understand Prescott.
Stop it.
Prescott's never lost to the Redskins.
Stop it.
4-0.
Stop it.
4-0. That's right, Terry.
That's until all day gets a hold of that defense.
So everybody knows about Jason Garrett and his clapping, right?
Yeah.
I thought the funniest meme I saw this week was one of Romo telling Jason. Did you say that? I sent that one to you. It was Romo said, "Now you screwed me, but I'm gonna bail you out. But all you gotta do is take your clappy ass up to Jerry Jones' office and say, I want Romo back. Bring back the 88-2. Boom, touchdown." That was the meme.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, Terry, just tough times.
Good luck. Yeah,
Dak is not. He's a game manager. I'm not saying he's terrible. I wouldn't say he's terrible, but I would say he's
got the same numbers as Brock
Osweiler. Look, this has been something I've heard
games.
Some of the people on television talk about, and it kind of makes sense to me. Dak is a franchise quarterback because it's stability at the quarterback position. You're not up and down about it, but you can still draft other quarterbacks. This upcoming draft,
well, they're not committed to him financially.
Yeah, so you can still draft a good quarterback coming up. You know, that's been the talk, is whether or not they'll take one of these top quarterbacks, you know, from Oregon or Auburn.
Well, if they end up in the bottom 5 records,
guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. Our biggest play against Seattle was 18 yards. Come on. We got to get on down the field.
You've only got one pass this year, more than 20 yards. It was a Tavon Austin play, and I think
as a pass. That's what I'm talking about. As a pass, not a running play. Because one time Elliott, got to give the guy the ball.
Elliott's 3rd, I think, in the NFL in rushing right now. Minnesota at 22, Indianapolis 21, Falcons 20, Seattle 19, and here, I thought very interesting. Of the 2 lost teams, this team is 10th in offense and 10th in defense. There's only 3 teams in the NFL that are 10th that are in the top 10 in both. See if y'all can guess the other 2.
Wait. Who was the one that you're speaking of right now?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess I could give that hint.
That would help.
At 1 and 2, the New York Jets.
The other 2 low
At
teams.
1 and 2, no. There's only 2 other teams in the NFL completely that are ranked in the top 10 in both offense and defense.
I guess one's the Rams.
And the Jets are at 18th at one has 2 losses in the top 10. No. This is any team in the NFL.
Oh yeah, so they're both
3 teams
in both sections.
3 total teams in the NFL
10.
are in both top 10 in offense and defense.
And one of them is the Jets.
And one of them is the Jets.
Is it one of the Rams?
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of a given.
So Eagles the other?
Nope.
The Washington Redskins.
No.
I had to try, man.
Kansas City Chiefs.
You're 18th in offense.
It ain't the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's
That defense is awful.
To make it short, it's the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm going to get to them. I'm going to read some interesting stats on them in just a second. So let's finish up these guys. So these are the teams. These next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams all have 1 loss, and they're technically out of the playoffs right now. So this is how they rank when you put the rankings down. So at number 17, the Green Bay Packers, 1-1-1. They have got the 14th best offense, 23rd best defense, -4 point differential. The Denver Broncos at 16, 20 offense, 16 defense, -3 points. All right, folks, here's your Panthers. Number 15th in the league right now. They're outside the playoffs at 2-1. Point differential is plus 3.7. Let's get in depth into those points. Remember what I said the NFL average was? 23?
20, yeah.
So between 20 and 26 is average. Panthers are 13th, which is the middle of the pack, in offense at 23.7. Average on offense. On defense, they have a top 12 defense, but they are 12th. Right on the outside looking in of that top 10 defensive range. Remember, last year, our top 12 defenses and rushing teams all made the playoffs. 20 points per game they're giving up on defense. So they're scoring 23.7.
It's not the same defense
and
as
giving
it
up
was
20.
last year. They're letting up a good amount of rushing yards, and everybody.
You saw him in person in
I saw him in
Atlanta.
person in Atlanta, and Tevin Coleman, he's a good running back, but he's not even their starting running back, and he lit them up for 100+ yards.
He's on my fantasy team.
Eric Reed will help them.
Yeah, now that is that's something we didn't mention.
That's a bonus.
That is a bonus. Eric Reed will help them.
Panthers signed safety Eric Reed this week. That should help. And I've been saying it since the first year. I think they will win as many games as Kuechly stays on the field.
Yeah,
and can stay on the field. This offense, kind of like Dallas. We was talking about Crest earlier about how it's been the same offense for years. They're going to score 17 to 25 points, and if the defense has a great day, they win. They don't, they're competitive, or if they have a bad day, they lose. I mean, it's all about how many that defense pretty much gives. Number 14. With a total of 35 combined. The Panthers had 35, but the Steelers I give to the tiebreak. And I don't know why, but they are on my tiebreak. The 29 points a game on offense is 7th. Defense is 28th.
Yeah.
So if they're going to trade Le'Veon Bell, they
better be for some help on the defense.
Shouldn't they call? See what y'all think about this one. Shouldn't the Steelers call Seattle and say Le'Veon for Earl Thomas?
Yeah. That would be the only player-for-player trade I would try and have
Le'Veon for Earl Thomas.
That's the only player-for-player.
You had Earl Thomas to a defense as 28th. It's going to get better, I would imagine. And then Connor is doing just as good as Bell has been doing. So
only player-for-player trade I would take. It's dead serious. It's the only one that adds up substantially, like worth-wise.
Now the number 1 team outside of the playoffs. I made up the rankings, I guess, but it's not my fault the rankings came out the way they did. The number 1 team outside the top 12, Terry, 1-1. Oh, dear God. They have a better record than the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to read all these teams that got better records in while we got a minute. Better record than the New England Patriots, Buffalo Bills, Oakland Raiders, Arizona Cardinals, Houston Texans, New York Giants, Detroit Lions, LA Chargers, Dallas Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings, Indianapolis Colts, Atlanta Falcons, Seattle Seahawks, and New York Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, your 13th ranked Cleveland Browns.
Great for them. When you take Mayfield and you compare him to Jeff Garcia, Don't
coach
get me
who hadn't
wrong.
coached in 20 years compared to
I mean, you know,
Also compared to Drew Brees.
Drew Brees said he was better than him. And Drew Brees might be the best passer we've ever seen.
The true test.
I never thought Jeff Garcia was great.
We all know the
I don't
true
think that's
test
what
is
he
this
was saying.
weekend.
He was saying about how he moves his feet and throws the ball. Baker, I think he's.
I'm just waiting on him to talk about the Rams.
I think he's going to be okay. Well, Carson, you know they're number one. It's going to be a while.
I know. Listen, man.
Let me tell you something, Carson. We mentioned you last night in the postgame show. I said Carson right now is having a year.
Yeah, he's having a year.
Due. All right.
Wait, now, look at his baseball team. What's Hunter Huss's record?
Undefeated.
What's the Rams' record?
Undefeated.
Carson, you're about to blow a tire on the way home. You're right.
Don't put that black magic on me, Ricky Bobby.
Voodoo on me.
Don't put that black magic on me, Ricky Bobby.
Are you a sorcerer?
If nobody gets those references, you are uncultured.
You're having 1993, I think, was one of my favorite years. The Tar Heels.
It's one of my favorite years.
Tar Heels, Cowboys.
And from all the terrible
Who else
things
won
that
that?
came from that year.
And Chicago
was the
Bulls.
best thing.
You were born that year too.
Yeah, man.
And the Bulls won their third championship that year.
Listen.
That was the Barkley Jordan series. That was
It's been
just
a while
outstanding.
for all of. I've been waiting on the Braves. I've been waiting on the Rams.
Yeah.
I've been waiting on Huss.
It's all happening in 1 year.
It's all happening at once.
It'll all go down next year.
I don't care. I'll take this 1
He gets
year.
1 year.
I'll take it.
Don't jinx
I
the
told
Braves.
him
The Braves
yesterday.
will be down next year.
I said, you pull for a team, the Rams, who can never figure out where their home turf is. They move all the time.
And you know what?
They do.
I
That
don't
is
care.
true. They probably have moved more than anybody, hadn't they?
Yeah.
I think.
They started
Maybe
in
it's
Cleveland.
either them or the Cardinals.
Cleveland
probably.
to L.A. to St. Louis back to L.A. 4 times.
Cardinals been in where? Chicago, St. Louis.
And Arizona.
2 different places in Arizona, I guess. You can count. All right, let's talk about the playoff teams real quick. Number 12 on the edge of starvation. The number 3 offense. The worst defense in the NFL, though. The New Orleans Saints.
How about that Super Bowl pick?
30. They're in the playoffs right now.
Well, right now.
Hey, also Carson, get off my Super Bowl pick. They're in the best start. They're in the best start they've had since 2013.
Hey, Carson, get off his Super Bowl pick two. Super Bowl pick 2. You got me all fumbled up. Think about it. The Patriots have done this for years. Not had a great defense, but just outscore everybody.
Saints started 0-2 every year since 2013. They're scoring 34 a game and they're giving up 34 a game.
Yeah, man. Ugh.
So
Things are back to normal.
Now, here's what I will say. I will say after next week, I think that defensive number will change, and here's why. And this is kind of weird looking at, though. Maybe y'all agree, maybe you don't. Mark Ingram. Last year, if you watch the Saints games, they ran the ball a ton trying to keep the teams off the field.
Yeah.
Every time they got up 2 touchdowns, they tried to pound that timeout because they knew that defense couldn't stop them.
And Mark Ingram is more there.
What failed them in the playoffs?
Running the ball.
No, what Dodo out at safety
Oh God!
didn't tackle the guy.
About the play.
Yeah, the Dodo out there at safety that decided to tackle Casper the Ghost instead of the wide receiver with the ball. So the defensive backfield failed him last year. So I think Mark Ingram helps. It's
Mark
not
Ingram
fix
helps
it.
a ton because Alvin Kamara, he's more of a set piece back, if you could say.
Mark
he's
Ingram's
more
first and
catching
10.
out the backfield. Mark Ingram, you're going to run him up the gut.
Well, think about
multiple
it. The
times.
last time the Saints defense DBs did anything good was when they beat the Colts in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that year they led the league in turnovers, I think.
Yeah.
Was that a Greg Williams defense?
History repeats itself.
Where's he at, Terry? Cleveland. They're about to be the best defense in the NFL in 2 years. Watch this.
They might be
2 years.
Best this year.
The Rams are going to have to get rid of half their defense because they paid everybody sure soon. Titans are number 11 at 2-1. They're 30th on offense. They're the complete opposite of the Saints. They're 30th. I mean, of the Bucks, our next team. These two teams are complete opposite each other. Saints 30th offense, 3rd defense.
Tennessee.
Gosh, Lee. Tennessee is 30th offense, 3rd defense. Tampa is 4th offense, 29th defense. So complete opposites there at 11 and 10, Tennessee and Tampa Bay. Number 9, Philadelphia Eagles. They're 23rd on offense, 8th on defense. Kansas City Chiefs are number 1 on offense, guys. 39 points a game. But they can't stop anybody.
I'm about to say.
They're giving up 31 a game. They're 30th.
If they don't outscore someone, they're beat.
Chiefs and Saints will be 75-72.
That would be. Would that be the greatest Super Bowl of all time? Hey, if you're a betting man, take the over. Take the over every time.
It'll be a 12-9 game
every time. Bet the over every time.
Here's when we start getting crazy and surprises, guys, because of my formula. Y'all love my formulas. Well. We know
some people that do and some people that don't.
So the top 12, I didn't really worry about the record at all. I did just put them in whatever order where they added up. So at number 7, with a combined score of 27. Now the Chiefs were at 31. At 2-1 in the NFC North, the Chicago Bears.
Woo! Chicago.
Mitchell Trubisky is on a team ranked 7th in one of my power polls. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know what to do.
Hey, listen. All this is, just think about him as Rex Grossman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 6, Jacksonville. 25th in offense. 19 a game they're scoring on offense. Their defense is giving up 15. They're number 1. They're tied with number 1 with somebody. They're tied with number 1 defense.
I'll tell you what. Leonard Fournette is supposed to come back this week off that hamstring, so that offense might be a little bit more productive.
Here's where we'll start.
I hope he does. He's on my fantasy team.
Here's where we start getting off the hinges a little bit, I think, based on these. This is not opinions. Number 5. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh.
6th in offense.
September.
19th in defense. That gives them a total of 25. 1 spot ahead of Jacksonville. Their point spread right now is +4.
Their receiving core is good.
+4.
It is. Joe Mixon's banged up right now, though.
Who they got this week?
Atlanta.
You think Atlanta? They're both going to be 2-2 after this week?
Yep.
I think Atlanta wins, too.
The number 1 defense in the NFL tied with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This team has the 18th ranked offense, but they also have the number 1 defense. 2-1. The pride of the NFC East. Hunter? Who's got the number 1 defense in the NFL?
The Washington Redskins.
Who would have had or heard of that?
Not me!
14.7 points a game. They're giving up on offense. Number 1 tied with Jacksonville. That's the defense. The offense. We're going to go all the way to the NJP on that probably because I got to get out here shortly too. Washington 18th on offense. So basically, you guys have a good defense.
Yeah.
If your offense can score average like the Panthers do, but your quarterback is very accurate, and you have
but he won't throw more than 10 yards.
And you got a pounder of a running back. So
multiple.
I think you guys are in a spot to make a run at this division and give the Eagles a run.
I'm gonna be completely honest. The NFC East is wide open. Wide open. It can go one of 3 ways.
If y'all stay in top 3 in defense, you're winning the conference. One of 3 ways. Terry, was it the Giants or the Cowboys are out? Because both of those are pretty bad right now.
I have more faith in the Giants' offense than the Cowboys' offense.
Again, Prescott has never lost to the Redskins.
Hey, that was the Kirk Cousin days. You come to the check down Alex Smith all day days, baby.
All right, number 3. The 3-0 Miami Dolphins. Ryan Tannehill is 10-1 in his last 11 starts.
He's also 30. Did you know that?
He's 30?
He's 30.
No, I thought.
How old was he in
26.
college? Was he like a Brandon Whedon that was like 28 in college?
That was playing wide receiver in college.
Wide receiver. It's a quarterback now and actually looks decent.
I think Whedon had grandkids in college, didn't he?
He probably did.
I'm looking for these names. I've got the pictures of them, the many faces of Clinton Portis.
And
but I can't get the names. I'm looking for the names of these guys. That's what I want.
Sheriff.
The sheriff going to get you is just awesome. All right, number 2. We talked about them earlier. The Baltimore Ravens guys. They're 5th in offense, 5th in defense.
Wow.
Baltimore's 32 points a game on offense.
You said second?
17 and they're 5th on both.
5th. But what are they ranked? Did you say?
Baltimore's 5th in both. They're ranked second overall.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Baltimore is 2nd overall, and the number 1 team, of course, the LA Rams. They're 2nd in offense at 35 a game.
And with that, we're done, folks.
They're 4th in defense at 17 a game. Guys, right this second, Terry. We did it in college. Super Bowl pick.
Terry?
You want me to go first?
While he's thinking, did either one of y'all got one while he's putting
Super Bowl? Wait, the winner or just the matchup?
The matchup and the winner.
Matchup and the winner.
Right now, today.
Today.
Washington and who? They're number 4 in my poll.
Now look, I'll say this: if this can hold up, where it's the number 1 defense, I mean their schedule's
That's
not
what I'm
terrible.
saying. If you hold up top 5 defense, you're making the playoffs.
The only problem is the NFC is so top heavy. It is so top heavy, and you're gonna get. And it's not just worried about who you're beating in conference now, like in your own division. Now you're gonna have to possibly pull the Rams. So look,
well, they're losing the first game anyway.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, but, all right, look, all right, way too early Super Bowl pick.
I wanted Hunter to pick because Terry would take a lot of time.
Washington, and just because I can't count them out, friggin' New England. Okay,
they're 28th in my poll.
They're 28th in your poll, but dang it, you can't count them out. It's gonna be Washington, New England. Washington's going away with the Super Bowl, baby.
Carson, who got Rams and who?
Man, listen, I don't even like to pick my own team just because.
That's why I said mine was a way too early pick.
I get nervous. I get anxious. In the AFC, man, it's hard to pick against the Patriots.
They're not even in the playoffs right now.
I know they're not, but it's September.
The AFC is so weak.
The Mets were 11-1 in April, and you see where they are now. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Out of the AFC, man, I think.
Just pick them.
This is hard, man.
Just pick them.
I'm telling you, Terry.
Okay, Rams.
They're pretty good.
Rams,
Pats, Rams win. Okay, that's great.
Terry, who you got?
Rams, Chiefs. Rams win.
Rams and Chiefs. Well, I'm with you as part of it, the Rams, but I'm also just what Kevin just pointed at Baltimore.
Yep.
I've got those two with Baltimore winning.
I got Saints and Ravens. I got Saints winning. I'm not going to come off of it, but Baltimore scares me with that defense. Joe Flacco gets hot, and he's one of those that can win 3 games in a row. All right, real quick before we got to go, but Hunter here came in this morning wearing a 26 jersey, Redskins jersey, and I thought that it was Clinton Portis in the house.
Naturally.
And this fool actually went and bought a Adrian Peterson jersey. So I looked up the Clinton Portis.
Can we just point out that there's no swooshes on here? Where'd you get this jersey, Hunter?
What kind of Chinese?
Where'd you get this jersey, Hunter?
He didn't hit flea market. All right,
wait, let me tell you something.
Here's some nicknames for Clinton Portis over the year. Here's some alter egos from Clinton Portis. Let's see if any of those fit on Hunter. See if we can put one of these on Hunter. Choo choo.
No.
Ding.
No.
Dolomite Jenkins.
No.
That's a good one.
No.
See if I can read these. Can we call Hunter Dr. Do Itch Big?
What?
Dr. Do Itch Big. Dr. Do Itch Big.
No.
Prime Minister Yaman. Bud Fox.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Electra.
No, that's no.
My favorite, of course, is Sheriff Gonna Get Ya. That's a good one.
I'm down, man.
How about Southeast Jerome? Y'all remember that one? Have y'all seen the picture of Southeast Jerome? That's the
boy.
Here's a good one too. There's a good one too. Coach Janky Spanky. That's Carson right there. Coach, I mean, gosh, I didn't do it. Hey, we're in overtime. I did 2 hours without doing that. How about there's 2 more. $1 bill. Not depicted is Bro Sweets and Dr. I Don't Know.
No, he's Dolomite Jenkins.
Dolomite Jenkins.
Dolomite Jenkins. That's what, yeah.
I was rooting for sure.
We're gonna call you DJ.
I was rooting for sure.
All right, next week on KTC Broadcasting Friday Night Football, I'm gonna ask Carson here in a sec. They might switch spots next week just because it's the Husk game. We've got Burns at Stuart Kramer, Cherryville at Mountain Island, Ashbrook at Crest, North Lincoln at East Lincoln, Huss at Kings Mountain, and Shelby at Chase on KTC Broadcasting. JP, it's time to go. Read me today's and tomorrow's schedule. Turn your mic on.
Shore Cruise at Clemson at 11 a.m. Virginia Tech at Duke at 6 p.m. The Draft for Cure 300 at 2:30, and Atlanta Braves at Philadelphia at 6:50.
What about tomorrow?
Tomorrow we got Bank of America 500 at 1 o'clock and Baltimore Ravens at Pittsburgh at 7:30.
Janky Spanky, calm down over here.
Easy, Dolomite.
Hunter Dolomite Jenkins Yancey.
That's it, man.
All right, yeah, that's all, folks.
That's what you should have got. You should have got a custom 26 that said Dolomite Jenkins on the back.
Man. Full man.
I'd have put $1 bill on the back. It might have fit better.
All right, guys, that's it for Campers Inn of Kings Mountain Saturday Sports Talk. I'm Kevin Hastings, along with Tex Terry Reinhardt. Mr. Undefeated Carson Dockery.
Yeah.
And Mr. Washington, Dolomite Jenkins himself, Hunter Yancey, and John Prather off for the weekend. We'll see you guys next week on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Quitting time. Who says it's quitting time? I said it's quitting time. I was the foreman. I was the one says when it's quitting time at Terra. Quitting time! Quitting time!
Country Gold with Terry Clark. I'm Terry Clark, inviting you to join me this week for Country Gold, where we play all your favorites from the 80s and 90s.
Country Go with Terry Clark, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at KDCBroadcasting.com.
Say, kids, what time is it?
This is the 60s.
Hey, J.J. Wilson here, reminding you to tune in this weekend for This is the 60s, featuring the best music from the best decade and so much more. There's 60s television, movies, news, pop culture, trivia, novelty songs, interviews, deep cuts, and a whole lot more. It's peace, love, and rock and roll on This is the 60s.
This is the 60s, Friday mornings from 10 a.m. till 12 noon on The Balls, WOHS, AM and FM in Shelby, WLON in Lincoln. They've got them all. At Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, they've got Ford, Chevrolet,